hello, and welcome to the Lost Archives for episode 47. Oh my god.
Oh, damn.
Almost half a century. Yeah, I was going to say almost half a century, and that's about how long you need to listen. No, it's not that long. My name's Owen. I'm the Dungeon Master for our campaign, The Tyranny of Dragons. However, this campaign is all about the lovely players who join me each and every Wednesday, and who will introduce themselves and their characters right now.
Hello everybody on the internet, my name is Claire. I play Mira, the Dragonborn Sorcerer, who's a half silver dragon, half red dragon. She's playing the stealth game right now. Her, a giant robot, and a ranger. It's like a bad joke. And that's me, and that's the stream. Welcome. Yes.
Yes. Hello everybody, I'm Michael, and I'm playing Lockie, the Warforged Artificer, who, yes, is a gigantic Warforged that is trying to stealth. Let's see how that works out.
All this and more.
All this and more on the stream. Welcome. I'm just going to stare awkwardly until the next person goes.
I guess it's normally my turn right now, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. But you made it awkward for Michael, so mission success, right?
I just opened up the stream, so I was just quickly checking to see if it's all going well. Hey guys, I'm Jared, and I play the character Jin. He's a level 6 Lord Bard and a level 2 Hexblade Warlock. He's currently an associate and ally of the Tempest Guilds, and currently helping them in stopping the Queen of Dragons Tiamat. I'm currently in a tent after pretending to be poisoned.
Yeah.
And I'm sort of being watched over by someone at the moment. Name escapes me, and we'll see.
Marcus, and you are Callum. No, other way around.
Yes,
sorry, he was Marcus. You are Callum.
Yeah, no, I'm Callum. I know that much.
That's it, yeah.
Marcus is his name. Yeah.
But yeah, so we'll see how that goes. I'll pass it over to Ellie.
Hello, I'm Allie. I'm playing Lyra the Moon Druid, who is currently a bird flying free above the encampment that we're currently sneaking through. And yeah, she's trying her best to be stealthy. It's not her strong suit. But I'll pass it on to you.
Yeah, I'm Matt, playing Yervith once again, who is relishing this opportunity to stealth through a ruin and is having a great time leading Lockie and Mira through the ruins. And we shall see what happens in the rest of the night.
Indeed, we shall. And it was a very exciting episode last session. We had a lot of very fun, creative solutions to the infiltration problem explored. And I will do a recap of that. We'll go through everything that happened last session. But before I do that, I have some exciting news. So in the next couple of weeks, not this week, not next week, not the week after, but not too long after that, come and join us at twitch.tv/thelostarchives or on YouTube or in the podcast for a very special playthrough of Avatar Legends, the role-playing game set in the Avatar The Last Airbender and Avatar Legend of Korra universes. We're very excited, obviously. We think that's going to be a lot of fun, and we absolutely cannot wait to get into that. But to get you interested, and everyone knows this but Jared right now. Jared's the only one who doesn't know this, so sorry, Jared. To get you guys excited, I'm going to tell you a little bit about the setting. So each of our characters will be playing one of the representatives from each of the nations. I should say where it's set. So this is going to be set right after the death of Avatar Roku, right after Aang has been born as the new Avatar. He's still a baby. The Fire Nation has not yet attacked the air nomads. The comet, Sozan's comet, has just appeared in the sky, to a lot of shock and horror to all the members of the nations. And with the death of the Avatar and the new Avatar having yet to be found, there's a lot of concern amongst the four nations. Members of each of the nations are sent as delegates to a small villa outside the city of Ba Sing Se to meet and discuss. Politicians, delegates and representatives, along with their families and children. Our players will be their children, aged between 15 and 18, just like in the original TV series. Wanted to set it like sort of the same sort of age. They have come while their parents discuss and meet for the delegation. However, all is not as it seems. A plot, not by just one nation, but two, is enacted, resulting in the characters being separated from their families and brought together to face a new threat, one that went unnoticed and unfulfilled during the 100-Year War, a threat that threatens to shape and change the very world that they live in. And that's what we're going to be playing with. So, should be a bit of fun. And it's also a really good way to get members of each nation together, because I thought it was really important, seeing as there's not a lot of people doing this streaming. I thought if anyone wants to get into this, it might be nice if we could have each of the different classes, so Waterbender, Firebender, Airbender, Earthbender, and Weapons Master, have all of them represented in the stream, so that you guys can get a bit of inspiration if you want to try it out. Yeah, go.
I also saw there's something to do with tech or something.
Yeah, that's if you're playing in Korra's era or later, or after Aang's era.
Got
the
you.
only
I was
reason I
confused
haven't
about that.
Yeah, I haven't included that yet. I'm still on the fence about whether to include it. I still could. I just haven't yet, because that is a very Korra-focused era, that one. And if you read through it, it's very much designed for Korra's era. However, if you wanted to be like a technomancer or a technologist, using that sort of abilities 100 years ago, you could kind of be a little bit like Boomy in a way, setting up the slides through Omashu, and that sort of idea of like this early idea of technology. That could be interesting. Yeah. We'll
Firebender sounds pretty cool though.
Yeah, Firebender does sound pretty cool. I know you've did Firebender. But yeah, stay tuned. We will be streaming that and podcasting it and recording it. So stay tuned. We will have some updates for you shortly. But tonight we are going to be jumping back to our D&D campaign, the Lost Archives Tyranny of Dragons. So I better do a quick recap, so that if you don't know what happened last session, soon you will. Mira, Jin, Lockie, and Lyra are deep in the Noonian jungle after tracking a high member of the Order of the Dragon. Having now been joined by Yervith, the last surviving member of the Oxenford Historical Society expedition, the party have faced some of the dangers of the jungle in their quest to combat the threat posed by the Order of the Dragon, which looms larger each passing day. The group know that the Order of the Dragon has been around in various forms for centuries, historically attempting to use necromancy to bring the bodies of dead dragons back to life as Dracoliches, but in the past few years, something's changed. The goal now seems to be the accumulation of vast amounts of gold, silver, and treasure by any means necessary. However, the group have discovered that wealth is not the end game. The purpose of this hoard seems to be some integral part of a ritual, required to release Tiamat, one of the evil betrayer gods, from her prison far beyond the astral space. Other requirements or specifications for this ritual remain clouded and unknown to our party, except for 5 chromatic dragon masks and a suspicion, I would say now more than a suspicion, that Mira might somehow be needed or useful to its activation. Tracking the path made by the Yuan-Ti, snake-like humanoids who inhabit these dangerous jungles, the group have arrived at an ancient city, crumbling and in ruins, with a large gold ziggurat at its center, the Lost Golden City. However, this ruin is not abandoned. Members of the cult seem to be working with the Yuan-Ti, and these groups now occupy sections of the city, making a concerted effort to renew and regenerate, rebuild. The group decided to try sneaky infiltration. While Jin disguised himself as an injured cult member and provided distraction, Lyra turned into a small bird to keep watch, and the remainder of the party dashed through an area of the city street that has been left somewhat to its own ruin yet. It has not yet been a focus of rebuilding. And they have now reached the Ziggurat entrance without raising alarms. We rejoin the party, as Mira, Lockie, and Yervith hide around the corner at the main entrance. Lyra hovers above, keeping a close watch, and Jin, still in disguise as Callum, one of the members of the cult, is now attempting to ditch his cultist guard friend Marcus. And we are going to jump in with Jin. Jin,
Okay.
the priestess Yuan-Ti who had just visited you and tried to cast that spell. You're not quite sure what that spell was, but tried to cast a spell and seemed to know that you had resisted it, has left, has walked on. Mira, Lockie, and Yervith, you've seen this priestess step inside the Ziggurat after saying that she needed to speak to Varum. What that entails, you're not sure. Lyra, you saw the priestess leave where Jin was hiding and travel over towards the Ziggurat. And that's where we left off. I think Jin had been having a few interactions with Marcus, and it seemed that Marcus was suspicious of Callum's behaviour, but not his identity. At this point, it looks like your cover is still intact. However, your behaviour has raised some red flags. Marcus now stands door at the edge of this crumbling, ruined house, making sure that no one comes in, but more importantly, you can't go out. What would you like to do?
Okay, so what's Marcus doing currently?
At the moment, Marcus is facing towards the side. He's leaning against the edge of the doorway, one of the door sill. Door sill? It's a window sill. Is it a door sill? I guess it is a door sill. Leaning against the edge of the doorway, eyes both in and out. So basically, on the in the middle of the door, back up against the wall, looking both directions, keeping an eye out for both things moving in both directions. He is far enough away that he can't 100% see you in every aspect of the room. At this point, he can, but if you were to move towards the back of the room, you would be out of his eye shot.
Right. Okay.
There are sections of vines and foliage draping down from above as well that provide a bit of cover. If you were to move back, the shadows created by this and the natural block that they provide, you would be out of sight. He would have to come and look. He would have to leave his post to see you.
I'm going to groggily sort of stand up, stumble a little bit, and make it seem like I stumble to the back out of sight. So not so much that like I meant to do it, but it looks more like an accident.
Yeah, I would love for you to make me a performance check.
Okay, let's go.
Let's go.
23.
Oh, that's better.
Marcus, as you begin sort of stumbling around, Marcus goes, No, Callum, you need to sit down. What are you doing? Sit down. And as you sort of stumble and collapse against the wall, he's like, oh, never mind. He does not enter the room at this point.
So I'm at the back, and I'm just gonna sort of like fall into place. So I sort of like land at the back on the tent wall and a post.
Oh, so it's stone room. It's an ancient ruin that's been abandoned. A stone house. Yeah. As you collapse against the wall, white cut stone. Getting up close, you can now see that the stone itself is cut very strangely. There are no chisel marks. There's no carving marks that would be very much expected. There's damage that's been damaged by time, and there's areas where you can see where once was flecked with gold, but your immediate sense is that this was created with magic. It's too perfect. Cool. Each stone is exactly the same size. Exactly.
Am I out of eyesight now?
Yeah, as you look over and investigate his line of sight, he would have to get up, turn around, and walk into the room to see you. The light from outside sort of blinding him a bit, you hiding at the back in the shadows, you are now out of sight.
I'm going to sort of mutter to myself, and just sort of let some inspiration swell up within me. I'm going to do another bardic inspiration on myself.
Absolutely.
Just in case anything happens and I need it.
I like to think you like mutter like a quick poem to yourself. Like, it matters not how straight the gate, how charged with passion soul. I am the master of my fate. I'm the captain of my soul. So you fulfill whatever you're about to do.
We'll go with that. That's perfect. And I'll sort of have the inspiration sort of swell up within me.
I was just trolling,
and that allows me. No, we'll go with it. Why not? You put a lot of effort to that, so I like it.
It's just madness.
I'm the master of my fate. I'll just keep sort of muttering that to myself.
With great power comes great responsibility. Uncle Ben told me that.
I shall not fear. Fear is the man killer.
Yes. Oh,
I am the force. The force is with me.
That's it. Yes. I am with the force. The force is. That's a good one.
I'm going to now. Okay, so I've done that to myself. I'm going to stumble forward again, and I'm going to sort of re-enter sort of his line of sight, Marcus's.
Yep.
And I'm going to sort of walk up to him, panting, a bit short of breath.
Callum, I told you to sit down.
I'll sort of gesture for him to help me sort of sit back down on the bed frame or whatever it is.
He does so immediately without any pause at all.
I sit down and I, with a heavy deep breathing and panting, I go, Marcus, why did you join the order? What was your goals?
What do you mean, Callum? We joined together. What are you talking about?
I sort of look off in the distance. It does not matter.
I have written a backstory for these two in between sessions. I had a rough backstory. Now it's a fully fleshed fucking essay. You are in trouble. No longer am I working around a rough improvisation. I'm ready.
I look at him in the eyes though, and I go, I did not ask when you joined with me, but why? What drove you?
Okay. Yeah. No. Absolutely. He sort of pauses that and goes, I honestly.
I nod, and I cough. I do a cough.
because of you. Because you convinced me. I had my reservations, but you were so sure this was what you wanted. This was everything, and I couldn't let you face this alone. This dangerous world out there.
Oh, fucking hell!
You can see that his cheeks are now quite coloured.
Man.
His cheeks are quite coloured, and he seems a little bit.
Shit, his friend is dead.
Thank you for saying that, because I was gonna wait a little bit, and then like as you got into this, be like, you do know you murdered his friend, right? Like,
well, we didn't though.
We didn't murder him.
We didn't do it.
That's true. That's true.
Dead.
Apologies. Yes, of course. Yes.
The
Sorry.
snaky boy. The snaky
I'm
boy.
gonna sort of-
murdered him.
Yeah.
I'm gonna clasp him on the shoulder and look at him and go, Callum.
You're Callum.
No, that is who I was when I entered. A man. And I sort of look off. I was so sure, so right of the path ahead. Nothing would sway me. But that last mission, and I look at him in the eyes.
Okay.
My lips quiver a little bit.
Yeah.
Opened my eyes. I could not mutter what had actually happened on that dreadful mission for the artifact. But this is not what I thought it would be. As I look at Marcus in the eyes, you have
He
a
looks
full
shocked.
life ahead of you. I don't know if I can last, but this life is not for you. You must go on and do other things, greater deeds. This is evil. I never thought it would be. I thought it was the right thing. But alas, I was wrong, Marcus.
Make me a persuasion check with advantage for that inspired speech.
Wow.
19, 13.
That's pretty good.
He sort of looks at you shocked, the colour draining from his face as he goes pale. I knew something more had happened. You wouldn't say these things unless you knew that you weren't going to make it. What happened?
I sort of look off in the distance. That Yuan-Ti guide. Well, he led me to the artifact. And what I saw was radiating pure evil. It destroyed him and near killed me. I never wanted. I thought I wanted this, but this life is not. Now what I realize is not what is true. A far-flung friend of mine. His name is Illyrian Whisperwind. Find him in Palin, at the Bard's College. He will lead you on the true path, back to the light.
You do not need to make another persuasion check, because you have said something in that speech. Something that you said seems to resonate. Something breaks him. Something in particular that you said that you didn't know about. You're not sure what it was specifically, but something matches
Okay.
up with something he's heard.
That's crazy.
And actually, I'm going to roll really quickly to see if he would. Fuck yeah, he does. He like grasps you by both shoulders. I'd heard rumors that the Lich, Diderus, he left cursed objects around here. That's why no one lives here. The dark necromantic energy. You were right. I told you so. I told you we shouldn't have come here.
I sort of cough. My time is near. But Marcus, and I look at him. I'm going to do an insight check on him quickly.
Yes, absolutely.
After all my interactions with me, or maybe I don't need to do an insight check, but like I need to
No, go
know,
ahead and make
like,
one.
is he
Why not,
like?
eh?
I will.
It's going to be an easy DC, 14.
14.
As you stare
it's
into
more
him.
like I want to see if he's genuine and not like he's just like some like innocent kid that got dragged into this.
As
what
you
I'm
stare
sort of
deep into
looking
his eyes, you know he is the big bad. He's right. No, I'm kidding.
No, Marcus,
It's Diderus reborn.
he's the Lich.
This isn't Marcus. This is Tiamat. No.
Oh.
As you stare into his eyes, he grows 4 more heads.
Oh, for
you-
fuck's sake!
You know that he is scared, he is anxious, and he is broken. Something that you've said, this knowledge, I'd say with a 14. You're not 100% sure what it is you've said that really has affected him, but
Let's do the D8.
it's something to do with...
Make that 20 now, Owen.
I use bardic inspiration.
I use my bardic inspiration.
the mentioning of the magic item radiating evil and destroying the guide has spooked him beyond all measure. He genuinely, like the way he looks at you, it's like he's looking at a corpse. He's looking at a friend who's already dead. Something
Well,
you've
that's
said.
That's funny.
Yeah, ironic. Something you've said about this art, like the mentioning of the artifact destroying the Yuan-Ti, he clearly knows something else that you don't know, and what you've said lines up with what he knows or what he's heard. And he's looking at you like you're already gone. You're already lost. There's no hope for you anymore. It's pity and fear and grief as he looks at you. Is that what you wanted to know from your insight check?
Yeah, that definitely.
He trusts you, yeah. And also, if sorry,
definitely-
you want to know if he was like an innocent person. It's hard to judge 100% whether he's innocent. Like when he said, "I only did this because of you. You talked me into this." That was all genuine. He wasn't lying. He was being very honest. This is a moment of real honesty. When he said, "I warned you not to come. I told you we shouldn't do this." Again, moment of real honesty. You think he's telling the truth there, 100%. He seems really genuine.
So he's not like a full-fledged. He's not like a fanatic of the order. He just.
Yeah.
It sounds like he got swept up in it.
Yeah, I mean that's a very valid hypothesis as to why he would have these responses and why he would say, "Well, I didn't do this. I only did this because of you." Like it seems like he might not be a believer. It seems like Callum was a believer. The person you're impersonating was a believer. You don't get the sense Marcus was. You get the sense Marcus is here because of Callum. No other reason. That when he says that is absolutely the truth. You just, the way he says it, the emotion in his face, there's no doubt in your mind. When he says that is the truth.
Okay.
Lucky I
I'm
rolled
gonna
a
look at
21
him.
on that check. Wait, what?
I'm gonna look at him and go. I'm not long for this world. You need to get away from the order. You need to get out of this jungle alive, though. There is a friend of mine in the camp. Find him, and he will help you escape the forest.
Who's this friend? Who do I ask for? How? I've never done this sort of stuff by myself.
So I'm gonna cough a little bit more. Okay. I'm gonna go with
Jin at this point is like, shit.
no, that's okay. I'm gonna go with like a sort of he will seek you out. He will say his name is Freddy Thorn. It does not necessarily mean it's his actual name, but he will help you escape the forest. And once out of it safely, he has friends as well. I think a party. They're very close to this location. But once you are out safe, find Illyrian.
I will, Marcus, I will. No, sorry, Callum. I will, Callum, I will. Just myself.
I'll sort of clasp his hand and be like, live for me. Live for the right. For the as I sort of trail off and live for the live for, and then I'll just keep coughing. I'll sort of wave him off them, like, just live true.
He pulls out a gold piece and pushes it into your hands. Remember, your father always said you have to pay the ferryman. Remember,
I sort of
you have
nod.
to pay the ferryman, okay? It's really important.
I nod, and I clasp him one more time on the shoulders, and I look, fight for good, not evil. And I'm not going to die. I'm just going to sort of sit there, like...
And then I cast Feign Death on myself.
I'm going to, like, lie down and just going to keep coughing and go, go. Now, you need to move. But you got to be stealthy. You can't let the cultists know what you're up to.
Okay, I will. I'll never forget you.
Me as well. I'll never forget you, my friend.
With that, he turns, looks towards the door. As he turns one last time towards you, you see a tear rolling down the side of his face, eyes red. As he nods one final time, then turns and walks out the door. Nicely done. You ditched the guard. Yeah.
I said maybe we can say Marcus though, because you seem like a nice kid.
Yeah. Hashtag say Marcus. Yeah.
You are currently
Hashtag
alone in this
second
building.
apprentice. We'll find out.
Meanwhile, Yervith's just like, "Oh, cultist!"
Yeah. I love the
He walks
idea.
out. Oh yes,
Yeah.
I'll save you, my friend.
I love the idea of Yervith's like, oh, his guard's walked out the front. I've got a clear shot. Do I take it? I'll take it. I'm gonna save Jin.
I'm coming.
So I'm going to wait for a time.
Yep.
I'm going to let Marcus sort of wander off. I'm going to cast on myself. I'm going to change myself into Freddy Thorn, who's one of my personas, just like a very nondescript, very like average-looking human with a beard and some long hair. Wear the robes that I currently have on, just for every case. And I'm actually going to cast invisibility on myself.
Ooh, very nice. Yeah, you are invisible.
That's a second level. Yeah.
And then my question is, are you headed to the Ziggurat or somewhere else? You will remember the plan was to rendezvous outside the Ziggurat. Or I should say at the base of the Ziggurat around the left-hand side as you face the front entrance.
Well, I'm going to walk out and obviously try and be as like quiet as I can so no one notices my footfall.
Yeah.
All right. So as I exit the hut, the Ziggurat is big enough that I can see it in the distance.
It's a massive, like, 16-tiered pyramid made of white stone and gold. It does somewhat stand out.
Ellie is sending me a mental connection.
Oh.
This is just more of a, is everything okay? Do you need support?
I don't know if you could see me because I'm invisible.
No, she sees the guard leave. And so she, being within 70 feet, or I think it's 80 feet.
Oh, so you don't actually need to see me?
Double check
that could
that.
be really interesting.
I think
Actually really useful.
I suspect you might need to see him.
But then
she
might know I was in the hut.
Kalashtar?
I don't know how.
Oh no, yeah. Any creature you can see within 80 feet. So if you can't see him, then sorry. Retract that.
Crap.
That's
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah.
You could have
Good idea.
flown down before he cast invisibility, but I'd remember that all of these events are happening simultaneously. If you wanted to
Yeah.
fly down to, as you see the guard leave, to fly down and check on Jin.
Actually, it would make
like,
sense
he
that she
would
would
have
do
done
that.
that.
Yeah,
No.
that's what you
Well,
said.
yeah,
Your
like-
instinct was as soon as the
It
guard
would've
left to fly
taken-
down.
Yeah, it would have taken you some time, Jin, to transfer.
Well, Jin said, "I'm going to wait a little bit while the guard
Yeah.
leaves." So what I should have done, I should have in that moment said, "Okay, while you're waiting, let's jump to the others really quickly."
Yeah.
We will do that. Lyra, as you see the guard leave, you flitter down. Jin, you see a small bird. I think what did we say? You're like a macaw at the moment, weren't you? Like a colourful plumed
parrot.
tropical
Some
parrot.
kind of jungle
Perfect.
parrot.
Yeah. You see that sort of fly in and land on a section of vines right near you.
I
and,
definitely
look at
know
you.
that's.
Yeah.
I definitely know that's Ellie.
And then Ali
Lyra.
makes the mental connection with you before. So you've just transformed into Thorn, but you haven't yet cast invisibility. You're sort of in the process of
Okay.
getting ready to do that as Ali then makes that mental connection. Sorry, Lyra. So Lyra, what did you want to say?
So essentially, she's just going to connect up with him and be like, first of all, you're okay? Do you need anything? Try and get sort of like a lay of what the plan is, and then try and follow him in a way that, you know, or at least know where he's going so that she's not just circling around where he was.
Ooh. Let me check my inventory.
I'm just quickly checking to see if a familiar you're carrying or like an animal you're carrying, does it get affected by invisibility too?
Oh.
Yes.
Oh no, then I would have to. Wouldn't I have to elect Ellie as?
If she was sitting on your shoulder when you cast it, she would be invisible too. Just thought I'd check that.
Anything the target is wearing or carrying.
So if he's carrying,
Yeah.
I checked it.
he's chilling on his shoulder.
Checks out.
The rules with carrying is its mass cannot be, like, it can't exceed half of your mass.
And I guess
a
it's
tiny
the parrot.
bird does not exceed half your mass.
Yeah.
So
Okay, I will. I will reply back and say, I'm about to turn invisible. Jump up on my shoulder. I think I have a feeling that you might become visible with me. So I'm gonna go more in like, I don't know if this is going to work the way I planned, but like, let's give it a shot, and then we can walk together throughout the camp, and potentially reconvene with the others, or even help out Marcus. I'm not sure yet.
Sweet. Cool. Lyra, jumps on his shoulder and is can I do some kind of check to see, would Lyra know that she needs to stay on him in order to remain invisible? Or like,
Ooh.
is she under the impression like, cool, invisibility, get the spell, and then like if she like whatever reason jumped off,
Oh
you
yeah,
know?
as long as it's on the target's person.
because it's
That
as
sounds like
long as it's on.
that sounds like an Arcana check for Lyra, because I don't think Lyra. That sounds like an Arcana check to me. I kind of think Lyra would get caught up in the excitement and not think that through.
I might. Oh my.
Also,
wow.
Druids don't get invisibility,
21.
so it's not
She
for me,
thought it
so.
through.
Lyra knows how it
Yeah.
works.
She followed it through. She knows what she's doing.
Nice.
She knows even
Sweet.
more than what Quinn probably knows.
Cool. She knows to jump on and stay on then.
Yes. So you know that as long as you're in macaw/parrot form, if you're sitting on his shoulder and he's invisible, you're invisible. The second you break contact with him, the second he's no longer carrying you, you are visible.
Suddenly teleporting parrot.
Do you know what?
This is
Might
so
draw
much-
attention.
This is so much better than what I was going to do. Like mine was going to at least work still. I was just going to use chalk to like do little marks for her to follow. But this is just way easier.
This is way easier.
I love the idea of these
Knowing
like
where the Ziggurat
chalk
was.
marks just appearing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like it's like Paranormal Activity, where it's just like suddenly chalk.
Turns out it's
the ruins
just...
are haunted.
Yeah.
They
Well.
probably are. Let's be honest.
Well. Spoilers.
Oh. Oops.
Oh, okay. I got a thought. I'm not going to go straight to the Ziggurat. Not just yet. I'm going to track down Marcus, get him to meet up with his contact, Freddie Thorne. And my thinking is that he can give us some intel that we don't have. Because now that he's turned, and Freddie Thorne sent by his friend Callum, he'll be more open to any secrets that these guys might have. So I could find out more information before we walk into any potential ambushes or traps or whatever.
Not a bad idea at all.
Cool. So yeah, I will gesture for Lyra to jump on my shoulder. I'm going to turn invisible, and then I'm going to seek out Marcus in the camp.
Fantastic. As you turn invisible and begin sort of tracking along, do you want to make me a quick survival check to see if you can spot Marcus's footprints and trail leading away from this hut? Because you did tell him to be stealthy, so he has been stealthy.
Okay, we'll give it a go. Not the best with it. I'm going to...
Can Lyra help him at all, by the way? Like, can she be, like, using her bird eyes to, like, peer out, like, try and see what she can see?
Yes, you can. Yes, you can help him.
Nice. I'm still going to do a Bardic Inspiration just in case. It'll last me for 10 minutes.
You must be running pretty low on those bad boys now.
I've used 2. I have 2 more. This would make it 3 used.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, 1 left. You won't need it.
Okay.
There's no big boss to fight here. You'll be fine.
Yeah.
Anyway, let's do survival checks.
Yeah, let's see it. Let's see it.
Well,
10 and 3.
That's rough.
18. Oh,
That's why I did it.
chonky
clutch.
boy.
Clutch 8 there.
That's it.
I
That
know,
came in
it's
handy. A
good.
1 would have been disastrous. So yeah, you rolled a 10 and a 3. We'll take the 10. Your Bardic Inspiration was a D8 dice. You rolled an 8, which is a total of 18. So as you begin moving along, for the first little bit, you're struggling to make out this passageway, but then you hear sort of in your mind Lyra speaking to you, being like, no, you need to, a little bit to the left. His footprints. Yep, you've got it. And you begin following his tracks. They lead directly to the edge of the forest. It looks like Marcus took your advice completely literally. When you told him to wait at the edge of the forest, he's just headed straight the shortest path to the forest. After only 2 or 3 minutes of walking, you literally see him hiding behind a tree.
Cool. It sort of sucks to like just get rid of invisibility like that, but I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna gesture for Lyra just while we're out of sight to just sort of hang around on a tree for a quick sec. So if Lyra does that,
A macaw suddenly appears out of nowhere.
well, that's
flying
what I'm
towards a tree.
saying. That's what I'm saying. Around out of sight from Marcus.
Oh yeah, no, just
She
for
sort of
the
like
audience.
climbs up the tree, like from the base, out of sight of Marcus, and then hops onto a branch so you can watch Scott what's going on.
Oh, I love it.
I will approach. I'm gonna hide. I'm gonna go a bit further into the jungle first. From the sort of like from the campside, and then I'm going to drop the invisibility, and I'm sort of gonna go sort of stealthily-ish through the jungle, and I'm gonna go, Marcus, like whispering, hush tones.
He jumps. He startles, and then turns around. Are you visible at this point? You've dropped the invisibility.
Yes.
Yeah,
Visible.
Sorry, I missed that. He turns around. Thorn?
Yes. Freddie Thorne, at your service, my friend.
You can see his eyes are streaked with tear stains.
Oh.
My heart too is yes, my heart too is also distraught at the loss of my friend Callum.
How did you know? I thought we took him straight into the citadel.
Well, me and Callum, we had a bond. We were tied by the hands of magic, able to communicate over vast distances.
He looks at you a bit suspiciously. He
That is
never mentioned
definitely
that.
something. Well,
Never. We shared everything. I thought I knew him.
there was things that changed him, and he started changing. I will admit, I'm still part of the Order, and I'm going to stick it out, but as a last sort of, what's the word? As a final sort of goodbye and promise to my friend, I will help you get out of the jungle.
Okay, just tell me what I need to do.
So, our friend Callum wasn't aware, but Illyrian Whisperwind is actually in this jungle as we speak. He
Wait,
travels
what?
with a party. Callum didn't. I myself wasn't very aware of it until rather recently. But he can help you get out of the jungle. And him and his party, well, they can help you get out.
Okay. So what do I need to do?
Stay where you are and keep out of sight. They will find you.
Okay. I can do that.
Now,
Can Lyra just to interject.
Yeah.
Can Lyra, like, overhearing this,
Oh yeah.
she links up with Jin, and she sort of says, stay right here and stay out of sight. He is far too close to the encampment. He would be probably discovered immediately. Perhaps there is a safer, better hiding spot for him. Yeah. Just
And then are you gonna have a bit of a fly around, see if you can locate that safer, better hiding spot?
yeah. If she can, she'll hop up, like, even if it's something just like climbing a fucking tree, to get out of the standard search range.
Spoken like a true druid.
Yeah,
I'm sure the
just
solution involves hugging a tree somewhere along the line.
It's all about the trees.
It's got to be involved. Maybe he can do that rope trick.
But, like, come on,
If he had-
the forest floor is deadly. He needs to be somewhere safe and like cocooned,
I'm Mary Poppins,
maybe
y'all.
be snuggled.
Yeah, absolutely. I'd love a perception or an investigation check. Your choice.
Oh, perception all the way.
Yeah.
Natural one.
Oh, yeah.
26.
Hey.
19 plus
roll.
7 for a total of 26. Fuck me. Right, so you see a number of dangers in the forest really close to this place. There's a few caved in sections of housing that's been covered by the jungle that are actually now pits, where it looks like the foliage has covered it and it looks like it's ground, but you spot gaps of light sort of shifting between little like drops of sand, and occasionally a little section of leaf falls in. It's a pitfall trap now. Not a deliberate one, an incidental one. There are a number of vicious of those carniflora not that far away, only a few meters away from this area here. But you do spy a large Morton Bay fig tree. Its tangled roots providing and strangling another tree. This large strangler fig that he could climb and hide in the branches of quite safely. There's no signs that anything has used this. You can see an old nest of some sort of, probably some sort of mammal. It's sort of been designed in a circular formation in one of the hollows, but apart from that, this tree looks to be safe. You think this would be a fairly safe spot to stash him for the time being.
She tells Jen exactly what steps that his mate's gonna have to take, like, so that he doesn't walk into the carniflora, he doesn't fall down a pit, he could find his way direct line through that fig. And then, like, okay, tell him to climb up, chill up there, he'll be safe there. Whatever he does, don't go back down to the fucking floor, he'll get eaten by plants. Don't go to those abandoned buildings, he'll fall in a pit trap. There's probably about 50 other things I haven't seen, but, if you want your friend to come out of this alive, make sure he follows my instructions exactly.
With a 26, you're feeling pretty confident about what you've seen.
what I'm going to do is... I carry a sketchbook and a pen.
Yes.
I'm going to look at him and just sort of put my finger out for a sec, like, to silence him. I'm going to grab out my pen, just tear off a sheet, write down these instructions
Yes.
as Lyra tells me them.
Very nice.
And
Yes.
I'm going to sort of give it to him and say, use these instructions to get to safety. You are not safe as you currently are. Once time has elapsed, you will be greeted by Illyrian. He will come to this exact spot that is the most safest in this area. And from there, you can escape the jungle with him. Now,
Okay.
I'm going to go back in. I've really stuck my neck out for Callum. I need a few things from you. If I'm to fit back into
yes.
the camp without any problems, if anyone finds out about this, I am fucked. So, I
Okay.
need some dirt, I need some intel. for me to use if I need to blackmail anybody? Do you have any secrets, any intel that I can use? Because I've really stuck my neck out for Kellum.
Secrets and blackmail.
Anything you can think of. Anything, no matter how small or anything.
Make me a persuasion check.
Funny tidbits he heard over breakfast, Ethan.
Yeah.
Make me a persuasion check.
What about some water?
19. I mean, some of the other members have said that they haven't seen Varum with his mask for some time.
Ooh.
There was a rumor that he'd lost it, and that's why we're here.
Oh shit.
Not because it's here, but because a way to find it is here. People talk about Diderus, this lich who had powers of foresight and far-seeing. We're here because Varum, the rumor is that he's lost the mask. It's been taken, and he's here to try and use some magic relic inside the Ziggurat to locate it. That's why we're here.
Bloody Varum.
That's what the rumors say. We've been told officially that we're here to make peace with the UNT, to recruit them to our cause, and because there's a weapon here that we can use against the free people, against the city of the nation of Oshia, and the city of gold, more treasure for the Horde, right? But apparently there's something more. The rumors are that he's lost his mask.
Well, that is definitely interesting news. What about the relationship with the UNT? Is that tenuous at best?
Well, yes and no. They're loyal to the cult of the dragon in a way, but more loyal to Tiamat. We are their avenue for getting what they want, their mistress back. They serve her. They have for a very long time. They talk as if she created them. Or assisted in their formation. Something to do with the inner sanctum. We're not allowed. We're not allowed in there. Varum's been trying to negotiate access, but we are not allowed deep inside the Ziggurat, only to certain areas. Apparently there's something there that they don't want us to see. They don't want us to know.
Okay. I'm going to look at him and go, well, if it is all that you have left, take this note, and I press it into his hands. Find safety and shelter, and wait for Illyrian.
I will. He sort of pauses as if he's going to say something else, but then falls silent.
I look at him. Is this something else you need to get it off your chest? You're about to say something.
There's another rumor that I've heard. There's a lot of... This is an old sun temple, right? Like, that's these people used to worship the sun, but there's a lot of moon iconography if you know where to look for it. And one of the men said that there was writing in Druidic.
Oh, okay.
Hello.
Like, if anyone was looking at this parrot right now, there's a fucking macaw sitting in a tree above these two people having a conversation. It's got wildly pinning eyes.
It hasn't, but
Is this parrot high or something?
but its body hasn't moved a muscle for like the last 10 seconds. It's just completely still, freakishly
Its
still.
eyes are pinning.
Yeah.
I'm gonna
Jared,
sort of
you hear
look
in your
at-
head, Lyra screaming, "Where? Ask him more."
Screaming.
There are 4 exclamation marks after "ask him more." So I would say at this point it is a mental scream that you hear.
Okay.
Equivalent of caps lock.
He will see. You know what? He's gonna see Freddy wince for a second as he gets like psychic screamed.
Oh, yeah. Actually, yeah. Can you roll me a D? No, I'm kidding.
sure.
He will look at Marcus and go, do you know where the druid or the Judaic text is?
I haven't seen it myself. Apparently, it's in some of the inside the Ziggurat. I've not been inside.
Okay. Well, thank you very much. That's going to be very useful.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
I sort of like, yeah. So I sort of clasp his hands and have the note and like, do not lose this. Follow it to a T. Everything that is written down there, you must follow. Do not stray.
I won't. I promise.
Promise me.
I swear.
You must live for Callum.
I swear.
I know he was a bit of a scoundrel, sort of. But
Maybe.
he was a good man.
He was a bad person, but a good man.
He meant well.
He joined a cult, so like he's probably not.
He got swept up in the
the best guy.
He got swept up in the cult, but he really did try to change his life around. And you, Marcus, was no small part. You were no small part in that.
He nods, looking very sad again. Turns without saying anything else and begins following the instructions on the note. I should say, actually, as a little thing, cults generally don't want to attract weirdos and creepers. Cults in the real world, in our world, in the not D&D world, generally who they go for are intelligent, well-spoken, well-presented people, because that's who's going to convince more people to join cults. It's not really weirdos and psychos who are actually at risk from cults. It's actually people like us. Because we're the ones they'd be targeted. Oh no, who am I saying? We're all weirdos. Never mind, we're fine.
Yeah, we are all weirdos. But no, you're
Nobody wants us
the
in a
smart
cult.
people, but it's the smart people that have lost everything. The ones that are vulnerable.
Yep, exactly right.
Yeah, it's true.
That's
Just thinking about it.
Asmodeus.
I'm just saying, I could start a cult if you're keen. Let me know. DM.
Sick. Yeah. No.
Send me messages. We'll figure it out. So we can make our own cult with blackjack and hookers. Nice. Very nice, Ali. Well done. I am very tempted to give you inspiration. I'm also going to award an inspiration to Jared for that incredible roleplay before.
Oh, yeah.
Absolutely amazing. And for this entire sequence, this is information I don't know how you would have gotten so directly otherwise. You've done a really good job here.
Thanks, man.
Alrighty. With that, I'm assuming you have. Yeah. So your plan is to get back to the rest of the party at this point, right?
I have one more second spell slot, because I dropped the invisibility before. So I'm going to gesture for Lyra to jump on my shoulder again. And we're going to do the same trick, and we're going to, as stealthily as we can, traverse through the camp to get to the Ziggurat and potentially line back up with our friends.
Fantastic. Well, I should probably bring you guys all over to a map, shouldn't I?
Oh,
Nice.
If you'd like that.
Maybe.
Okay, we should all be transitioning across to a map. Yes, we are. Fantastic.
We're still on the beach.
Yeah, I'm still on the beach.
Yeah.
Oh, that's because I did it on the stream, not on the on Roll20. How about now?
There we go. That's better.
Ooh.
Can't see anything.
Give a second. You should be able to see something in a second as we give the map a second to load.
Yeah.
It'll take a min, and it will be. Actually, I'll double check dynamic lighting's on properly.
Yeah, I can see all five of us.
Oh, perfect. Can everyone see everything? Just give me a thumbs up if you can. Thumbs down if you can't.
No.
I mean, I can't see everything. I can just see what I can see.
Yeah, sorry. I should
Yeah.
say.
Feel the beer.
Load.
Oh, sorry.
There you go.
How about now, Matt?
1 second. It's
I'm gonna
loading.
Force you there. In the meantime, so as this
Oh, here
has
we
been.
go. Perfect. Yep.
Oh, good. Fantastic. As this has been going on, Yervith, Mira, and Lockie, you have been able to hide yourselves around the edge of this large ziggurat, basically at the side corner, right in front of the stone steps that lead up towards the entrance. You haven't seen too many people come and go since the priestess headed inside and told her 2 UNT guards to prevent anyone else from entering. No one else has entered. A couple of cultists came up at one point saying they needed to speak to Varum, but were very quickly turned away and denied entry. No one may enter. Back off. That's what they're told. And they do so.
Yeah.
At this point, Jin, you can sneak up on them. They've got no idea you're there because you're invisible.
Also, Owen, I just want to quickly say,
Yes.
I'm going to make a second note of the exact same instructions that I gave to Marcus, just so I know how to get back there again.
Very
I know,
good
like
idea.
it makes sense because then I'll be like, wait a sec, I don't remember the instructions.
Yeah.
Who was that?
So I don't actually remember off the top of my head what the instructions were, but
That's okay.
Jin will
Your
have
character knows.
the
Jin knows.
instructions written in a note
Yeah.
so we can find him. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Cool.
Can I also
so,
say as well, really funny, when Claire, you leant over onto Michael's screen, it almost lined up perfectly, the two cameras next to each other, so you literally came onto Michael's screen right where you should have. Just a really cool moment. For those of you who are watching live and watching the YouTube, that would have been really enjoyable. For those of you who are listening, you've got no idea what I'm talking about, and I'm sorry. If you're listening to the podcast, firstly, thank you for listening to the podcast. You're not missing out, I promise. We've now got people commenting, you have magic cameras. We do have magic cameras. We're all here. Watch. If I get my fist up and go like this, I'm going to punch Michael in the face. You ready? 1, 2, 3, bam. Look at that.
Oh.
Sorry, Michael. I'm sorry. I'll pat it better. Sorry. Back to the games. It was a really cool moment of fourth wall break, which suddenly people are like, oh yeah, Claire and Michael are sharing a room. They're actually in the same location.
We've been outed.
Oh,
Surprise.
No. Secret's out.
Oh no.
And Matt and I are too. I'll just lean across and give Matt a kiss over this side. Oh no! People threatening to unsubscribe because I punched you in the face, Michael. That's fair. That's fair. I deserve it. It's fair. No, it's very fair. I agree, Archie. That was unreasonable. I take it back. I'll kiss it better. So anyway, Jin, you come up on the party. You can see them hiding themselves around a corner, basically keeping watch, keeping lookout, but they cannot see you because you are invisible.
Okay, I'm going to creep up behind them with Lyra on my shoulder.
Just very quickly. Very quickly. In that time, like that Jin would have been doing all of this stuff. Is there anything that we would have noticed? Because we were pretty well hidden, but was there anything like, I don't know, we were just kind of scouting out, I guess. Really.
Yeah. So do you want to make perception checks or investigation checks and tell me what you're looking for? Because I can definitely give you some more information. But mostly what you see, is what I described before. Essentially, we've had a member of the chat spend 10,000 channel points to summon a monster. Kunjist, if you would like to type in the name of the monster you would like to summon, the party are going to have to deal with it. Your challenge rating limit. Your challenge rating limit is not unlimited. At this point, at their current level, you may summon a monster up to, give me 2 seconds, a challenge rating of... What was that? Sorry. You can summon Tiamat if you wish. You can summon up to a challenge rating of 5. So you can summon a monster of a challenge rating of 5 if you so desire. Enjoy.
You could check that on the monster manual if you don't have one available as well.
Yeah.
You have a type monster manual or type in D&D CR5 into Google and
should find something.
They'll give you something.
5e. I'm not sure if it's specific.
I can even do better than that. I can actually give you a list of monsters organized by challenge rating, and you can go through and tell me which one you want to see them do. Just paste it there in the chat. Go nuts, mate. Enjoy. You too, if you join us live, you too can do things like this. Summon monsters, create NPCs, and just cause havoc for the party. It's up to you. So, sorry, Jin. So you approach the party stealthily and invisible. Mira, you said you wanted to do something as well. Was that... Oh, yeah, that's right. You guys were looking out for information. What specifically would you be looking for, do you reckon?
Well, Mira would be looking for any signs of, like, magical ritual type situations, because that came up before. And she's just trying to get a feel for what people are doing. Like, she kind of knows protocols and things. So that's what she'd be kind of watching for.
Absolutely.
Yervith's still not like super sure like what he's getting himself into, so he'd probably be like asking Mira like, what do you think we're dealing with?
Yeah, absolutely. So you sort of turn to Mira and go like, what are we dealing with here? At this point,
I have advantage because that was great.
Sure, I will allow it.
Yay!
And while they're figuring that with
wow.
With my one.
That's rough.
Yeah. 5 and 4 for Mira. That's unfortunate.
Can I do a?
Don't worry about it. I won't say anything.
Oh, man.
Mira, you don't see anything beyond what I've already described. I'm sorry.
That's cool.
Lockie.
That's cool. Just saying, really,
Alright, well, what he would have been doing is feeling his gears tick over, because there's a very definite rhythm, and timing that with watching how people are moving to see if there's any like regularity to like their loops or their guard walks or whatever.
Oh, wow.
If there's an opening to get in.
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh, yeah.
At this point, there are a number of cultists patrolling the area, but given that they're being turned away from the Ziggurat, you are in a bit of a unique position here. Apart from these two U1T guarding the entrance, no one's patrolling this area. No one's patrolling these grounds. You have an opportunity where there's only 2 guards constantly looking ahead, and no one else is in the area. As soon after the sort of 3 or 4 groups of cultists are turned away pretty rudely by these UNT, the message gets around camp. No one else approaches.
Yervith is going to, not really knowing what he's getting himself into, he's just going to cast Primeval Awareness, just to see if he can sense anything in the area that might like ring any alarm bells. So he's gonna cast that. He'll spend a spell slot to do so.
Yeah, so your Primeval Awareness draws your attention to Fays, Fiends, Celestials, Elementals. Is that right?
In the Roll20.
Ah, beautiful.
Yeah, so it's what is it?
Aberrations, Celestials, Dragons, Elementals, Fae, Fiends, Undead. Good lord. Okay. Within 1 mile, am I reading that right? Are you in your favored terrain? You are, aren't you?
Is it jungle? Yeah.
Is that your favorite terrain? Is jungle your favorite terrain? Because that's 6 miles.
Oof. Well, I mean, his favorite terrain would be like forests or jungle, so either one.
Oh, which one did you select on your character sheet?
That's a good question. I will have a look.
That'll be the one we use. I think today I picked desert.
No,
I
should have one. Let's have a look. Oh, Owen, just letting you know, I think he might have chosen a salamander.
I can see salamander.
Also,
fantastic.
Owen, someone gave you advantage.
I saw that too. Oh yeah, I've got that marked. Don't you? Do I have that marked? Anyone giving me advantage is in my good books. Yeah, baby. Thank you, Teller 999. I'll organize a salamander. What was your favorite terrain, Matt?
It doesn't actually say, but I'm pretty sure it's forest, so it might not work.
Let's have a peekaroo. Yeah, I think, let me have a quick look. I might be able to have a quick peek and see, because you definitely would have selected one, because it's part of when you select your ranger, you have to select it. Let's have a quick look, because that is important, because 6 miles is that's a huge amount of distance. That I need to tell you some things about that. Favored enemy, Primeval Awareness.
Man, even 1 mile is like helpful.
Even 1 mile is nuts.
Yeah.
That's so interesting. It actually doesn't say on your thing. Is it? Go into edit character sheet, which have a quick look. We'll keep going in a second. Sorry, I am getting a bit caught up in the nitty gritty. Let's give you 1 mile, and then I'll give you the 6 mile information later on if it turns out that you you had selected it. Oh, here we go. I found it. So Deft Explorer, favored terrain. Okay. So you haven't got a favored terrain because you've got the Deft Explorer feat, which replaces the natural Explorer feat. So that's why you don't have.
So it'll just be 1 mile.
1 mile.
I thought so.
Yes.
Cool.
Fays, Fiends, Celestials, Aberrations, phase fiends, celestials. Okay, you sense undead. You sense aberrations. You sense the presence of no celestials. So yes, I'll go in order. So aberrations, yes. Celestials, no. Dragons, yes. Elementals, yes. Fae, no. Fiends, no. Undead, yes. You sense the presence within 1 mile of all of those ones I listed.
Wow. A little bead of sweat just kind of goes down his face like, oh, shit.
Well, that ain't good.
Okay.
Yep.
That's not good at all.
That ain't good.
Yeah. So yes, you do sense some things.
Okay, alright.
While he's sensing things, I'll be like, it seems we may have an opportunity if we wanted to jump these two guards to find our way through. This area appears mostly deserted, and I think it's going to remain that way for quite some time.
I believe you are correct, Lockie, but are our friends, or have they arrived yet, or is it just us three still?
At this point, Jin has arrived. As you're sort of like making these checks and looking.
Okay.
That's when Jin arrives with Lyra.
Okay. I'm very relieved about that.
Still invisible though.
Yes, so you don't know he's there
Cool.
because he's being invisible.
I'm going to.
Well, shouldn't we be waiting for?
Well, so what I'm going to do is, as you say that, our good friend Yervith, I'm going to sort of whisper to Lyra. Can you just send them a mind link, each of them, explaining that I will be invisible and follow them at a distance to provide them like a sort of like a shadow, cover their backs and see anything that they might not see. You can stay with me, or you can journey with them. It's up to you, but please let them know that.
She conveys that to each of them and adds that she's like, I'm gonna stay invisible with Jin for now, but if you see me suddenly pop into existence, don't be surprised it's me.
That's a wise choice.
And then I'll also let them know that we're like really close to them as well, like within eyesight. We're very close behind them, offering them some support.
Well done. Lucky.
Because look, an hour of invisibility is something I don't want to just give up.
Yeah.
Yep.
Well, with that
Absolutely.
information, Lucky, perhaps we should dispose of these guards quickly, quietly.
Quietly,
Make our way in.
Let's see what I can do quietly.
I might.
Oh, actually, I've got an idea. Sorry.
Okay.
Is
Let's hear
this... Okay, this is just like speaking out loud. I have not thought this through. And I would have to somehow drop wild shape and still be invisible, like sitting on Jin's shoulders or something.
Oh god, I can already
Because
tell
what
this is
I'm
going to be good.
I tip my endless water supply upside down, letting a bunch of water go, and then Mira controls water them into a sphere so that they are both contained and they can't call for help, and just shove them the fuck into the ziggurat so that we are not like aggroing outside beings.
That's a really good idea. Can I add one thing on top of that? If
go on.
I cast web, could I cast it in a like a sphere around the ball so there's no way they can get out?
Oh, it's a good question. No. As cool as that would be, that's not how the spell works. Sorry. As cool as that would be, that's not how the spell works. But you can definitely use it to help lock them in. Like definitely. Yeah, exactly right. So run this one by me again.
It fills a 20-foot cube.
What was that? Sorry.
I said fills a 20-foot cube.
Yes, yeah. So, but
if I
it's
just
not going to
use
block.
the-
They can still get out, like, because it's. Oh, sorry, I should have clarified. It's not like an impenetrable barrier. It's still just a web. But you could definitely like fill a space with it. Yeah, of course.
Okay.
It would make it difficult terrain.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah. Sorry. It's what I was sort of saying is it doesn't do anything more than what the spell says it does. It's not like you can suddenly create like these impervious steel webs. You're not Spider-Man.
Oh yeah.
It's well, I guess
We can then freeze the bubble.
We can then freeze the ball.
Could freeze them.
Okay. So what's the
this is sounds really cool.
Yep.
But there sounds like so much is going on. Is this inconspicuous?
So
Well, if
so
there's no
let's
one here.
let's hear
Not
the plan. Let's hear the plan. Let's hear the plan
Yeah,
really
let's go.
really
Let's hear
clearly. What is your plan? So Lockie's thinking of casting a web to slow them down. Lyra, you're going to make a giant ball of water using controlled water and your decanter of endless water. Is that correct?
So specifically, what I'm thinking is Lyra somehow drops form while sitting on Jin's shoulders,
Yep.
so that she remains invisibility.
So
She
you won't be invisible
upends
anymore
her endless
because
water.
Yeah,
your mass will have increased to
Which
the
is more
point
than
where
halfway.
it's half more. It's like more than half,
half your
or
mass.
something.
Yeah, half your mass.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, and I'm not a very heavy boy.
In that case, that might be more difficult if I am suddenly seen. But like, yeah. She's like spitballing this idea mentally with the others, by the way. Like, she's like, oh, maybe if like I jump off your shoulder, drop form, and then like do it like around the corner with Mira's help. So I'm upending the water in, and it's putting out like a fucking gallon. Like, it's not the little trickle option. And then in that same sort of, maybe a 6-second window of some sorts, if Mira's working with me to control this sphere so that we can get the sphere going around these guards, and then Lockie maybe chimes in, making it difficult terrain so that they can't move out of the sphere of water.
And also, if they
Here's my thought.
Yeah.
I was just gonna like suggest the classic, just like toss a rock and see if they follow it, like in the video games. But no, what I'll do is I'll walk up behind the party quickly and drop off Lyra so she can do her little plan, and Jin will sort of hide off somewhere, watching their backs, and everyone else continue.
So she's gonna try and like, when she upends the water, she's gonna again try and do it like around the corner so that the guards aren't suddenly like, oh, where the fuck did all this water come from? Like, why is it on the ground? Like, so it's out of the way.
Yeah.
We just like around the corner.
Oh.
Yes.
Could Lyra fly up above the guards, up in the water over them, so then Mira controls the water to go around them? And then
Okay,
I'll cast-
That'd be very cool, but
Oh,
no,
wait.
she can't. Because when she's a bird, all her items also turn into bird. So currently the jug is a feather.
What if I hold
Yeah,
the
but
jug,
if-
turn into
So
a
she'd
bird?
have to like fly up, drop form, upend it, take full damage.
Unless you're sitting on top, if there was somewhere to sit up there above them, you could sit up there above them, shift form, up in the canister, Mira controls, Lockie casts web.
Because where you're
Yervith just
positioned, you would be able to see a little bit more. I'm just going to move your characters ever so slightly so that you can see what is happening on the map. How about that?
Ooh.
So I just need to fix
Yeah.
this.
Okay, so our else
And
make
this.
people
There
over
you go.
here.
You should be able to see that now. So
Yeah,
the,
just got
the
his arrow ready. He's just like, can I shoot him? Can I shoot him? Can I do it? Can I do the thing?
I mean, we just have to be really quick. Is
Oh, yes.
the thing. And I agree, Lyra. I like the idea of making sure they're not too noisy.
Whatever your plan is, I have no problem with that. But if things go south, I'll put them out.
They're
I'll
gonna
take
go
them
out
out.
anyway.
I damn will.
I will.
I'll do it.
I'll hit
Don't
every
tempt
shot.
me.
I'll take them out.
Okay, guys, you guys ready?
I'm
Ready.
happy to you guys tell me what you're gonna do. I'm gonna throw you into initiative because that's gonna be really important for this bit. Let's get some tense music
Yeah.
going, and I hand it over to you guys. You tell me what you want to do. Let's go this one.
Oh no.
Maybe this one.
Oh no.
Leroy!
That's a bit much. That's a bit much.
We could do that.
No, that's a bit light. Let's go a little bit.
Hey!
We got anything darker? Put some dark music.
That's so
No, we're about to drown a couple of people, Owen.
There we go. That's good.
Ah,
Not very high
Alrighty.
initiative. That's fine though.
So our initiative
Happy
rolls,
for
we've
everyone
got
else to take the.
12 from Lockie.
Can I
Yep.
just a second, I want to check one thing. Split screen here. Can I do my +4?
Yes.
Can I do that on initiative rolls?
Ooh.
Okay, I'll give you +4. Bump it up to 13.
Me?
Yeah.
Oh.
Now, Mira, did I just delete you off the initiative order?
No.
Perfect. Good.
No, she's still there.
All right, and you guys can see all of you?
Yervith isn't there.
Yervith is nothing missing.
All right, I will add Yervith right now. What is your initiative? 11.
11.
Not too bad, not too bad. I will roll for the UNT now, just to save time, but they're not going right now, just so you know. They don't know you're there, you're completely fine.
Okay. Yeah, 4, 13. Yeah, that works perfectly. So we'll go Lyra, Mira, me. That's perfect.
Have the UNT go on the same roll, I think. Perfect. So our order is Lyra 19, Mira 13, Lockie 12, Yervith 11, Jin 7, UNT 7. Look at that. Absolutely perfect. It worked out beautifully. So, excellent. So, please, tell me what you guys want to do. I wait with bated breath.
Take it away, Lyra.
Alright, so Lyra is going to somehow try and stand in a spot where she does sort of have a direct line to the UNT, but not obviously standing in front of them like, hey, look at me. Then she's going to
You can position yourself on the map. You put yourself on the map where you want to be.
I'm assuming that they're...
There's some statues located just in front of them.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I'm just trying to figure out what a good line. It's gonna have to. Okay, she's gonna aim for these guys. So she's got that line. A geyser of water. So she uncorks a fucking geyser producer.
Oh,
Wait.
Lost you.
I lost you, Ali.
Yeah, I think we've lost Ellie.
Try now. I can see you, but I can't hear you very well.
No,
Try talking again.
I see you.
We can just hear you.
That's very strange.
That's a bit better.
There we
Oh,
go.
okay.
Yeah,
You're
we
back.
can hear you.
I can
back.
hear you. Oh,
Yeah.
okay, I'm back. Well,
back.
that's very strange. Anyway, so she uncorks the geyser. 30 gallons of water come out, spraying these guys. She's aiming for this guy, but if
Yep.
she can also... Oh, I can't click on Roll20 anymore. Weird. Anyway, she's going to try and aim for this guy, but if she
Yep.
can also sort of get some of the extra water like between them so that both of them can be caught up when Mira does her thing. And then because she doesn't really have any bonus action spells, she's just going to straight up do the DC 13 strength check and see if they can get knocked prone. Or at least if this guy can get knocked prone by her water. So like she's aiming the water at the auntie, and this particular guy may get knocked prone.
Yeah. So for our podcast listeners, the entrance to the ziggurat is on. There's a set of small steps leading up that are roughly sort of 35 feet wide. That narrows down to a 10-foot wide passage. The two UNT, these large, burly humanoid figures with these large cobra heads and scales heading down their back and forming into an almost half tail as well. A standing guard dressed in very sort of tribal clothing. Lyra, currently in bird form, sort of flies over, looking like a macaw or some sort of parrot, lands on the ground with this like gross, sickening sound, turns back into Lyra, holds a decanter, literally just like an amphora, points it at the UNT, and as they turn to look at her, just goes and unstoppers it. Out of the decanter of water bursts a stream, a geyser gushes forth, smashing into the first UNT. He is completely unprepared for this and has obviously no idea this is coming. He fails his strength check because I gave him disadvantage because it's a surprise because he had no idea this was coming, and this I think you would not be prepared to like make a strength save for this. As the geyser smashes into him, he gets pushed. Let's say 1d4 bludgeoning, so roll me some bludgeoning damage. And you wanted him to be knocked prone, correct?
Does that roll? Oh, hell yeah!
4.
Yeah.
And he's knocked prone. He's currently booped.
Yeah. As this smashes into him, he drops to the ground, knocked prone. This other guard sort of turns and goes, "What's that?" As this stream of water sort of fills this area and the ground becomes wet and slippery. Lyra, that's your action. Anything else on your turn?
That's her entire turn. Nah, that's everything.
Fantastic. Mira.
Okay, so, yes. I'm going to try and do what I think Lyra has in mind. So as the geyser erupts forward, Mira will walk forward as well at the same time. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, just to get a little bit closer to see both of them. But yeah, is it possible to cast Shape Water as the spell, as the geyser kind of gets to them, so that it encapsulates both of them in a 5-foot cube? Okay, that's a bit smaller.
So
but
not...
It's 5-foot cube and it should cover them.
So
no,
5 foot...
I'll twin it. I'm going to twin it.
Okay. Okay, yeah. Can I get you to roll me a check using your spellcasting? So a d20 plus your charisma modifier, please, to see how effective you are at this. And you're spending a sorcery point, so the DC is a little bit lower as you twin this. And you're going to try and trap them in a 5-foot cube of water each. Okay.
It will be each, actually, yeah. So, and I'm aiming specifically for their heads, so that they are engulfed in their own personal bubble of water.
Yeah,
that's cool.
Plus
30 gallons is 113 litres. Yes, it is. 21.
Wow.
Mira, as you concentrate and focus, you feel this amulet that you're wearing pulse. You're waterbending. You feel this amulet pulse with light. Anyone who can see Mira's eye, which is probably only Lyra at this point, the Ersatz eye flashes this beautiful blue color as it fills with the blue sorceress energy as she channels water. The cube flies up and encapsulates them. Basically, this sphere of water. I think. Well, do you want a sphere or a cube? Up to you. Sphere looks something.
A sphere.
Sphere? Okay.
Yeah.
Sphere of water around their heads, like they're sort of wearing these massive diving helmets. And they sort of, like, the one on the ground, it just rolls up around his face. This other one climbs up his body, watches the droplets sort of move, and then begin to gush up, completely encasing his head in this fishbowl effect. As he begins sort of like moving his head around, he realizes that the water doesn't move with his head. But for the moment, he is inside of it. It's not his turn. He is unable to move out of it just this second. He opens his mouth and bubbles come up to the surface, but no scream, no cry for alarm is heard. Anything else on your turn, Mira?
No, that is my action, my bonus action, and my movement.
Lockie, I should say, not Loki.
All right.
I really put a spin on that pronunciation. Yeah. It's just it's the new Mira.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, so Lockie's going to slip up between his friends here.
Yep.
And from sections on, where should I do it? From the back of his hands, I think, is he's going to get a couple of his cogs to grind together really, really fast and start throwing out sort of shaven streams of metal with a slight oily tinge on them. And he's going to cast web in a 20-foot cube, which is going to be the two 1T are going to be the corners, and it's going to try and do the 20 cube to the wall behind them.
Yeah,
so there's
absolutely.
2 walls behind each, and compasses. So it'll be like streams upon there, a little bit like Silly Stream almost, and it's going to be there on the corners and sort of like restrained against the pillars. The pillars being is for the.
How does that look? Is that?
Oh, it's like it's metal shaven with like a coat of oil. So it's like this little thin like copper streams and things like just like hitting. And if you've ever been like thrown sort of like the metal shavings from grinding or what have you on, they'll like crack and bend and twist and sort of like all get tangled up together. And then the oil that's on them will then stick it to the walls and to the one to themselves.
Is that positioning on the map? Is that where you'd like that web? Is that spot on?
One square back. 1 square to the right, sorry.
Perfect.
Yeah, there you go.
Beautiful.
And that's a DC 15 strength save for each of them.
Yep, I'll do it on the start of their turn. Because I think it is on the start of their turn. I think from memory web. Let me pull it open. Each creature that starts its turn in the webs or that enters them during its turn must make a dex save. So I will get them to make a dex save at the start of their turn.
Cool.
Anything else on your turn, Lockie?
No, not just yet.
Yervith.
He's just going to sort of 50 shield around.
Yeah. I'm guessing
cool.
a fire arrow is about to come flying through into the web.
Yeah.
That would be pretty cool. I mean, I don't know if I have the ability to make a little flaming arrow. If I could, I would do it. If it's oil. Is it an oily web?
It is an oily web.
And there's water as well, so that's kind of fun. Could I do a flaming arrow? I mean, I could probably have.
Do you have any way to light it on fire?
I would probably. Oh,
You'd have a flint and tinder, definitely.
yeah, I'd have a flint and tinder, maybe a bit of material, some dry material of some sort. I could wrap it around an arrow.
Yeah, that is sounding a lot like an
and sort
action
of-
at this point now, unfortunately, though. As you open up your
okay.
backpack, pull out materials, wrap it around the thing, get your flint and steel out, start doing that. That sounds like 6 seconds.
Yeah.
definitely, unfortunately.
That definitely does. I don't think I'll have the time to do that.
That's
I think
okay,
was
I just
just
thought
pretty
that'd be
happy
cool.
just to shoot some arrows.
Yeah,
That
absolutely.
would be really, really cool.
As
But
these
yeah,
creatures are
probably
sort of
will take too
stumbling
long
about.
to do it.
Yeah, absolutely, go for it. Let's
I
see some
will
rolls.
Probably do my bonus action to. So there's one on the floor. There's one over here. I will probably do Hunter's Mark on this one that's standing up.
Yep.
So I'll cast it as a bonus action.
Yeah.
And then I will take my first shot at the standing one, because obviously the one that's prone, probably not too much of a concern, but I will shoot the one standing up. Hopefully the water around his head still will muffle his screams, which will be nice.
And
Yes.
Hunter,
Yeah.
yeah, Hunter's Mark as well. That was the one standing up, wasn't it? I think we'll use this.
Yeah, that's right.
Ooh, 23.
23 to
Oh,
hit.
23 is going to hit. Yeah, Yervith's back. I think this makes sense.
Yeah,
for
exactly.
that makes sense for Hunter's Mark.
And I
It's like he's
assume we're
marching the target.
attacking. Yeah, cool. I'm gonna say
see some damage.
We're attacking from the. Yeah. Would you say that we have advantage on these attacks?
You are
'Cause-
stealthed, so they do not know you're there.
Yeah. I will roll again just to see if I crit.
Yeah, absolutely. Always should roll again if you get
Which I
advantage.
don't.
11. That's fine.
Yep. Cool. So I'll just roll the damage, which is a 6, and I'll get the sneak attack in there as well,
Woohoo.
which is 4, so
Ooh.
that's 10.
10 damage.
I will attack again.
No more sneak
That's
attack,
a
unfortunately.
1. Good thing I'm rolling. That's okay. Roll again. I rolled 2 1s in a row.
Oh,
Oh my god.
That sucks. But that's
Alright.
okay. I do have a third attack with Dread Ambusher, so I'll roll
Yes,
that
you do.
again.
Absolutely.
For my third and final attack. Fuck me.
11.
2.
Not as good as the.
There we go. That's
27.
bad. So 27 to hit there. So that's again 5
damage.
plus I get the 1d8.
British, yeah.
Yeah. Which I'll just roll that normally.
Hey, did you do the Hunter's Mark damage?
Didn't.
Oh, the first one? I don't think you
Do
did,
that,
did you?
actually.
No, you should do that one too.
No. Well, I'll do that
So
now.
be aware of that, Matt.
I already forgot.
And every person that plays a ranger, because that's the one we want to go.
Yeah, alright.
My Hunter's Mark damage
So
kicked
3.
in at this point. 3 for the first one.
Yes, that's 3 from the Hunter's Mark.
Yep.
And
But you got 2 attacks, so you get another Hunter's
yeah,
Mark.
yeah, no, I know.
Oh,
He's
okay,
getting there, he's
sorry.
getting there.
I just haven't.
I'm sorry.
Give the man a chance.
That's
He's
the
rolling dice, man.
second,
4.
and-
Nice.
Yeah, man. And I'll do the Dread Ambusher damage as well.
Yeah. Oh, wow. You have 4
To
again.
the 4.
Okay. So, I'm just going to say right off the bat, you have essentially more than halved this creature's max hit points in a single round of combat. As you literally Yervith his
Yay.
hatred burning as he sees these UNT flashbacks of what he's been through flickering across his vision. Yervith runs up out of the undergrowth, pulling out his bow, whipping his arrows forward, 3 arrows in hand, and in quick succession. First one strikes true as the Yuan-Ti stumbles backwards. A web gets in the way and deflects the second arrow, but Yervith's aim for the third is true as it slices across the belly, dealing heavy damage as these barbed arrows cut across and spear flesh. Anything else on your turn, Yervith?
Good question. I'll probably just come in close behind this wall and sort of kind of go a bit close to it to sort of hide myself a little bit, but not really hiding.
Yeah, absolutely fine.
Action. That's my turn.
Jin. Envisage it.
Okay, I'm going to move.
Jin visible?
Yes. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. I'm going to stay at the back here for now. I'm going to keep up my invisibility just for now. I don't want to drop it just yet. They seem to have it down pat pretty well. I'm going to do maybe like a perception check or something, Owen, to see if this is causing any disturbance at all, if any other guards or patrols are maybe coming anywhere close to us, anything like that, just to get an idea.
Yeah, go for it.
So I'll do perception.
19. As you sort of are looking around invisible, no real noise has been heard at this point. Like, even the casting of webs, all this magic that's being used, the geyser made a bit of sound as it sort of splashed out, but not above the normal sounds of the forest. It doesn't look like this has been noticed yet, this altercation.
Cool. That's good. Cool. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to ready an action. Because I'm sort of limited. I can't do an attack or any spells.
Oh, yeah.
Because I'll break invisibility.
Break the
It's not
invisibility.
greater invisibility. But,
You will be visible.
So I can still do actions with things like I'm going to like ready an action if any roving patrols or bands or anything even remotely catch a whiff of this.
Yep.
I'm going to like just trying to think.
That's right. You can have a think and let me know what you come up with, because I don't think it's going to change what the UNT do.
What I'm... No, it's not. I think what I'm going to do, though, is I probably would, like... If anyone comes close, I'll probably have, like, a bell ready to, like... Maybe, like, get some of the bells and just, like, maybe 2 or 3 of them, link them with something, and then throw it.
Okay, to make a bit of a noise, distraction.
A bit like, maybe, like, over here or over here, like a distraction to keep them away from us.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's a ready action if any patrols actually come up.
Come close, yeah,
on us.
absolutely. I better make some dex saves as we get to the UNT. So I believe the dex save DC for web was... Where are
15.
we? 15.
And the one that's on the ground should be disadvantaged.
Just as well, because he got a nat 20. But the second roll is only a 12. So this one is webbed. And... Oh, actually, I've got the perfect symbol for web. I actually have a web. And the second one... 14. You watch as the Yuan-Ti go to move, but the added distraction of having their heads encased in water, they are unable to see the distortion of the light, and their vision prevents them being able to see. Because it's a sphere, not a cube, the sphere is distorting their vision and creating an intense fishbowl effect, whereas a cube would have just allowed them to see clearly out of the 4 planes, sort of on either side and above. So you watch as they become entangled and engrossed in this web. Their movement speed is 0, I believe, and they are restrained, so they attack rolls have advantage, creatures attack rolls have disadvantage, and they've got disadvantage on dex saves. Wow.
Are they also drowning?
No, they're not drowning. You watch as they just duck their heads out from underneath the sphere and are no longer drowning. As they just sort of move their bodies to get out of the way of the water. Okay. The one that is the one that's on the ground can't stand up. It's literally prone. It can't do anything except for this. You watch as it cuts across its wrist, dealing a deep gash as the blood begins to flow across the ground towards the bottom of the steps. The Yuan T takes... Oh, that was max damage I rolled on that self-sacrifice. That's not what I meant to do. As he takes quite a bit of damage, you watch as this cut is potentially deeper than what he thought. And he then pulls out of his pocket a gemstone, this red ruby, and smashes it against the ground. Rising from the blood that immediately begins catching fire, a creature wreathed in flame emerges, pulling itself up from the blood.
Oh no!
A salamander.
What? Oh.
Hello.
Hey, thanks, Kung.
Thanks, man.
Thank you, lovely stream viewers, to give us that. I think that was. Let me quickly see. That was who dropped the salamander. Summon monster. That was Kungest. Thank you. Kungest. Sounds like a German name. Could be. Thank you very much. As the salamander rises, I better roll his initiative. Fantastics. Actually, there's a point of order from Lyra that is correct. Technically, this was a surprise round, which means they don't get a full turn. So, what I'm going to rule is that the salamander is a reaction. They've used their reaction to being attacked and restrained. Not being able to escape the webbing, that is the reaction to summon the salamander. But they do not get a full turn. That is their turn, because that point of order is absolutely correct. Thank you very much. Inspiration for keeping me honest. No, they're not drowning. It's only been 6 seconds.
Damn it.
Lyra, back up to the top. It is your turn. Very good point of order.
Lyra is going to drop a nice second level moonbeam over the prone but currently most undamaged UNT.
Oh my gosh, it's so Dr. Evil. It's like, yeah.
But the other thing is moonbeam.
I expect you to die.
Oh no, it's rolled. I didn't mean it for it to roll. I meant for it to do the display in BTT. No, not cars. Display! Damn it! Because of the shape-changing nature of the UNT, the second part of Moonbeam should come in, which is
it must make it saving throw with disadvantage.
Saving throw with disadvantage.
Yeah, they are shape changes. That is absolutely correct. Yeah, that's absolutely correct. Wow. Really good use of Moonbeam. As you drop this Moonbeam down on the one that's prone. Yeah, go.
She was just going to make a movement to take a step back.
Absolutely. As this Moonbeam beams down, you know that it's going to have to make a save very shortly when it takes its turn and potentially take some heavy damage. Anything else on your turn, Lyra? That's your action. Any bonus action? Cool. We'll go to the Salamander, which is next. Salamander's next in the initiative order. Thank you, Shane, for summoning that horrific monster. The Salamander holds out its hand and summons this spear of fire. It looks slightly translucent, as if it's not a real creature, something that's been summoned. It then rushes forwards towards Lockie and Mira. It's going to move to here to get in range of those two. It is going to attack both of you. It's going to do a multi-attack, one against Lockie, one against Mira. Lockie, the spear juts forwards, smashing into your armor. Does a 19 hit? Oh, I've lost Michael. Why have I lost Michael?
Oh, I heard him.
He's back.
I know. I think it's because I've got to quickly. Let me just. I think. Did you reset your camera? Can't hear you. Hang on. Let me just copy back in. Sorry, it's the way I've set up the audio and video system. So if I do this, it should bring you back, Michael, in a second. There we go. Okay, I should be able to hear you now. Yes, I can hear you now. Perfect. I'm guessing a 19 doesn't hit you.
Yes.
Hey, there you go. There you go. Sweet. It does at the moment. My armor wasn't on.
Oh no! Your armor's not on.
So yes, a 19
Oh
does.
shit!
So that's going to be
Ouch.
that's going to be
It's alright.
9.
It's only an action to put it on, but yeah.
It's going to be 9 piercing damage. And I actually
Yeah.
just to check that. So it's not used with 2 hands. It's only using. Oh no, it is using 2 hands because it's a melee attack. So it's actually sorry. It's not 9. It's actually worse than that. It's actually 14 piercing damage and 2 fire damage.
Oh,
Mira, the tail whips around
And
to
2
attack you.
fire. 14
10?
and 2 fire.
I know 10 doesn't hit you. I'm kidding. You're fine.
10 doesn't hit me.
10 doesn't hit you. It whips past. As it goes to sort of strike, Mira narrowly dodges out of the way, avoiding taking damage from this thing. That's its full turn. Mira, you're up next. This salamander is right in front of you. It's sort of as you're now in range of it, you can see that it is slightly see-through. It's a very ethereal, almost as if it's not really there. It's some sort of like summon spell almost. What would you like to do?
Oh, okay, interesting. That's interesting.
Wait, is it an actual spell or
okay.
creature?
It is a summoned creature.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Okay, in that case,
What are you thinking, Mira? What are you going to do?
yeah, I can do this. Mira is too close. She's disengage. So she's gonna go back 30 feet. 1. So disengaging 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's enough.
Yep.
And then as a bonus action with Quicken Spell, she's gonna cast Ice Storm on top of them.
Where did you want to move back to? Sorry, I
Yeah.
can't see where you've gone on the
So
map.
it's not usually a bonus action, but I'm using Quicken Spell. Another.
Yeah. Where did you want to place yourself? Sorry, Mira, I can't
Just
see
back-
you moving on the
just
map.
back- I just went back 30 feet. Yeah.
Oh, easy to. 10, 15, 20, 30. How's that?
Oh, just here. So I went down. Yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4, just so I can still see.
Yeah.
See my dudes. Obviously, I dropped concentration on shape water in my shop,
Yep.
and they get splashed with more water.
And then Ice Storm.
I will. Ice Storm,
Let's go.
4th level.
What save is it?
That is a dex saving throw, which one of them
No, they're both
both
restrained.
have restrained.
Mm.
I believe that's disadvantage for restrained, isn't
That's
it?
all 3 of them. Though. It should be all 3 of them as well.
Should be restrained.
Yeah. So
I think
the
it's
salamanders.
disadvantage on strength and dexterity.
Yeah, no, they've got if they're restrained, they do have
Yeah,
disadvantage. Yeah, they've got disadvantage on dex saves. Yeah, the attack rolls against the creatures have advantage too, which is just brutal. So yeah, restraints, they have disadvantage. The 2 UNT, I will roll the UNT's dex with disadvantage. Oh, that's 2 fails. I got under 10 for both with their disadvantage. And for the salamander. Oh no. What's your DC?
My DC 16.
That's a fail. 14. Salamander, all 3 fail. And I'll tell you right now,
Wow.
the salamander, a creature made of pure fire, has a vulnerability to cold damage.
Oh, nice.
For that, here we go.
Oh yeah.
Oh boy, this is gonna be rough damage. I can already tell this is gonna be bad news.
Yeah.
Oh,
Okay, so that. Okay. I don't know why it rolled twice. The first one's is actually bludgeoning.
Yep.
No, 2d8 bludgeoning and 46 cold. So it's just the 46 that is being doubled there.
yeah. Oh my goodness.
And
Okay.
Yeah. The area is difficult terrain as well now.
Okay.
Yes, it wasn't already.
Yeah. It's it's
Um,
all difficult.
The
Water, there's webs.
the Yuan T that was standing up.
Ice storm actually comes up from the ground. It's
Yeah.
just like a massive ice sleet storm that comes not from
Yeah,
above,
nice.
but from the ice below, and just like
Yeah.
Mira just kind of flips the table, and so does the water.
Yeah, as you raise your hands, these shards of ice fly upwards, spearing through them. The Yuan-Ti that was standing, the ice shards spear it to the roof and attach it, its corpse, completely still, as it is basically just adhered to the roof by these shards of ice. The salamander, this ice tears through it. It is looking very much hurt from that. The other Yuan-Ti is just clinging to life, like wrapped in these webs in the middle of a moonbeam. It's not looking good. Lockie, I'm guessing, Mira, that's everything you wanted to do.
That is everything I can do. Yep.
Lockie,
Okay.
you are in
Lockie
range of
is
this
going
flaming
to-
creature.
He is in range of this flaming creature, but that's fine. This is sort of where he wants to be. So I'm just going to take a step sideways, so I'm in direct line between Mira and the friend that we got here. And then he's going to be just reeling from the damage because he's not used to taking damage. His armor. So he's going to flip his bag over, action to put his armor on, and then bonus action for his little shieldy thing for 8 temporary hit points.
Nice. Yeah, you watch as the armor
Just
sort of attaches to
down,
Lockie, this protective field encasing him.
Yep. Winds up and they start humming. And then he's going to pull his shield up around and just sort of space himself in between Mira and the Salamander, which he assumes she is pissed off.
Very nice. Yervith. Probably weren't expecting a Salamander to be summoned, but there is now one right in front of you, sort of 10 feet away. This sort of slightly see-through creature made of flame.
Yeah, this is like, what is that?
What arsehole summoned this, huh? Shane!
Douglas!
Is this completely open, or is that like a shrub or something? Here?
It's a shrub. Right in front. Yeah, so just behind you there's a small shrubbery.
Can I attempt to hide behind the shrub?
Yes, you can.
Shrubbery.
Yeah, I'm gonna try
You will
that.
chop
I
down
will
the tallest
hide.
tree in the forest with a herring. Yep. As you dive into a shrub.
That can't be done.
Bonus
You're just being
action
silly now.
hide behind the shrub.
Yep.
I'll roll a stealth check just to see how well I do it. Not
13.
that well, actually. That's 13. That's not
That's
super
plus
good.
10.
Oh,
Okay.
it's plus, I don't know if my... Is it still up? I think it is. The password without a trace from before.
How long does it last?
It is still up. It's still up. An hour.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Well, actually,
absolutely.
that whole... Yeah? Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Excellent. All right, and then I will...
Is
Well,
that concentration?
password without a trace. Oh, yeah, good
Yeah.
point, actually.
It is. So if you've done
Hunter's
Hunter's
might
Mark,
cancel
It
out.
is. Yeah, so it won't
So
be up.
that's no longer
anymore.
up.
So it's still 13.
Damn. R.I.P.
I can't reveal who has seen you and who has not. You may carry on.
That's okay. I will... I'll attack the flame, the flamey boy.
Yeah, the salamander, nice. So as you sort of like jump into this bush, you like pop out, longbow ready, and just start firing. 21's gonna hit. You don't have advantage. This was
cool.
one of the ones that had seen you. Sorry.
That's all right. Worth a shot.
So
So
he's
that's
7.
only gonna be 7 damage.
Yeah.
And
Did you want to move your hunter's
I
mark?
will.
Oh no, you've already done the hide as a bonus action.
Yeah, so it's still on the corpse. I haven't moved it yet.
Yeah.
But I'll attack again, I suppose.
Yeah.
Try to get rid of the threat, I guess.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Ooh. 16.
16 is enough to hit.
Hey, I'll take that.
I give it to you. 8 damage. Very nice.
Sounds good.
Yeah, as these arrows begin carving through, the magic that is keeping this thing sustained seems to be weakening. You see that it is starting to dissipate. Its lower body is fading
Hey,
away.
Matt.
Yes.
Was that your... Did you do that attack on the Salamander?
Yeah.
Did you use your sneak attack damage anywhere?
I can't because it's seen me.
It saw him.
Oh, I
Yeah,
can.
but you
No,
got-
I can. I got Lockie
Lockie's
in
within
combat.
5 feet.
Oh, Lockie is within
That is a
5
good point.
feet.
Go
Yeah,
on.
yeah,
Chuck
nice.
That
it.
is
And,
true. Yeah,
chuck
yeah,
it in.
yeah.
Absolutely.
I totally. Yep.
Fun.
Good point.
Nicely picked
Yeah,
up,
good
boys.
job.
Very nice.
Good
Very
job,
nice.
sir.
Five.
Cheeky 5. Yeah.
Cheeky
Five.
five. Look, every bit counts. Every bit counts.
That's
Yeah,
it.
the magic that is holding this thing, the sort of this connection to the pool of blood flowing down the stairs seems to be weakening. You watch as it begins fading very slightly, becoming more intangible, more see-through, and the flames that it's unleashing seem less hot. Now,
Nice.
Lockie, You were within 5 feet of
Yes.
it when it took damage, but that doesn't affect. Nope, carry on. That doesn't affect you. Nope, that's all good. Anything else in your turn, Yervith?
No. I'm just gonna
Sweet.
enjoy my little position here next to the shrub, and
Yeah. I'll pass over to Jin Visible.
Okay, I think I have to join the combat, so I'm going to drop the invisibility.
Yep.
But no, before I do that, though, actually,
Yep.
I'm going to do Hexblade's Curse, which is not a spell, it's
Yep.
a feature. So only spell or attack will drop the invisibility.
Yep.
So Hexblade's Curse on this bad boy here.
Yep.
And
Nice.
then I'm going to do some Eldritch Blasts into it.
Absolutely. So the first attack you
So
have
let's
sneak
do
attack.
that.
If you get any benefits from that. So you got advantage, but no sneak attack bonuses, unfortunately.
No, it's just the advantage.
24 and 10. We'll take the
24 will
8
hit.
force damage. Very nice.
8 force damage,
Yep.
and then plus 3 for
Yep.
the Hexblade's Curse.
Oh. Yep.
so true.
And then I'm going to do another attack. That's an 18.
See if you crit.
18's going to hit.
15 force damage. Well,
Wow.
12 force damage and 3 Hexblades.
Yeah. Oh my god, this thing is barely a wisp. It's almost faded away entirely. There's almost nothing left of this summoned creature. It's almost gone. Anything else in your turn, Jin?
That's my bonus action. Bonus action done, and main action done. I think I will pass my turn.
Excellent. So the Yuan-Ti, this is when it makes its dex save, because it's now its first turn. It fails its dex save, because we already did that last turn, which means it can't stand up. It can't move. It is trapped in these webs. It is going to... Oh,
Take a
Moonbeam.
moonbeam, first of all.
Moonbeam, Constitution save. Yeah, I was just looking, I was like, it's better take the Moonbeam first.
Ah.
8.
Moonbeam's radiant.
Oh no.
At disadvantage.
8 with disadvantage. I rolled a 19 and then an 8. When I rolled a 19, I
you have
went,
advantage.
Ah.
what was that?
You have advantage.
I want to save that.
Yeah.
Don't worry.
Um,
I'm saving that. I'm saving
Actually,
that.
no, because he would also have double disadvantage, so the
of the
extra
dex.
advantage would technically
Be cancelled
cancel out.
Yeah.
I'm not spending my advantage. I'm saving that.
Between
Don't
the
you worry.
web and the shape changer.
I'll find a good use for that disadvantage. For that advantage. Don't you worry. I'll find a good use for it. But yeah. As the Moonbeam blasts down, would you like to? I think you've already rolled some damage, haven't you? Yes,
Yep.
you have.
13.
where
Or
was-
previously was.
It was 9 damage. 2d10, so you got 6 plus 3 is 9 damage. Oh, he's not looking happy either. Jesus Christ, that's his turn.
Wow.
He's going to roll over on his back, pull out his longbow, and fire off a... Yeah, that's all he can do at this point. I mean, he can try and scream out. I think look, he's obviously going to try and scream out. So what he's going to do is he's going to call out very, very loudly, "Attack! Attack at the door!" And then he's going to make a shot against... he can't see Lyra or Yervith or Jin because the Salamander's in the way. Lockie's going to be a tricky shot. That only leaves Mira. Which makes sense because you're the one who's caused him the most grief, Mira. I think it would make sense that he would try and shoot you down. Okay, so he's going to shoot you with his longbow. Fucking hell. 12? My rolls are so shit tonight. Fucking hell.
Wow.
I'm not going to use my... I'm going to save my advantage. Oh, no, it's only sessional. All right, I will use it again. See... actually, I can't remember. No, we agreed that it lasted between sessions if players give you advantage, if watchers give you advantage. So I'll save that. I've been doing that for you guys, so I'll do it for me too. I will save my advantage. He can't use it. He screams out as loud as he can, tangled in web with water right near his face as he's only able to move his head a little bit out of the water. Actually, that's a good point. If his movement speed is 0, can he get himself out of the water?
It's 5 feet around him,
It
right?
is 5 feet. It's
He
like
can't get his
it's
head
not
out of the
like a
water.
little
He
thing.
just
It's
screams bubbles. Yeah, he just screams bubbles and then tries to shoot you with this thing. Genuinely, I don't think he could.
Amazing.
I don't think he could, because if his movement speed is 0, even if you're wriggling your torso, like the way this has worked, right? He's restrained. He's on the ground, tied up in web. I
Yeah.
don't think he can move his head 5 feet. I think that is actually against the way that these spells have been designed. Yeah, I'm going to say he can't get out of this. Although your shape water is cancelled because you stopped concentrating on it when you did.
I did.
So he does
Yeah.
scream out. So he does definitely scream out.
Yeah.
Attack on the gate as loud as he can, and you have no idea if that's been heard or not. Lyra.
Alright, between the Salamander and the remaining Auntie, who's looking more hurt?
Makes sense.
The Salamander's almost gone. It's nothing but a faint wisp.
Yeah.
And you can see that the blood stream connecting the Yuan-Ti to this is almost gone. Oh, sorry, that's a good point. He should take damage for that for the second turn for maintaining this. Okay, yeah, cool. No, he's okay.
Does the salamander have any fire stuff happening around it?
Yes, it is. It's on fire.
Yeah, it's on fire, but is there any like fire effect around it?
No, only if you
that's
hit it. Anything that touches the salamander or hits it with a melee attack is lit on fire.
Ah. Okay.
Okay.
Oh, that's good to know. That
You don't know
changes
that.
what I'm going to do.
Shh, you don't know that.
I don't
Lockie
know
doesn't know that. You know
Right,
that.
I'll-
Lockie doesn't.
Okay. I will stay doing what I was going to do then.
Okay. So Lyra, what are you doing?
is going to, as an action, she's going to move her moonbeam to on top of the salamander,
Very fair.
whose turn
I'll
is
make
next.
I'll make it slightly bigger
Yeah.
so that we can see it a little bit easier.
Yeah.
There you go. Yeah, you just move it on top of the salamander.
Then I think she's going to try and get between Mira and the remaining Yuan-Ti so that Mira doesn't take any more damage.
That seems very
So
fair.
it's
Very
probably
generous.
gonna Try and move like here-ish kind of
Yep.
deal.
Yeah.
Next to
Absolutely. Salamander's turn. I better make a Constitution save, but I suspect it's not going to go super well for me. Fucking hell. 4.
Oh, no.
Roll 20 is not my friend tonight.
Wow.
Roll 20 is not. It's not on my side. Roll me some full
Yeah,
damage
it
for the
gets me
moonbeam,
sometimes.
please.
Um,
She's a
Woo!
fickle mistress. Roll 20. 19. How do you want to do this?
Yeah.
Yes.
Hey!
They just
Wow.
explode. Like, can the flames that make up the salamander turn into a milky moonlight wisp as he is essentially just evaporated by this
Wow.
beam going up into the sky?
Yeah,
Which,
absolutely.
In hindsight, Lyra is now like, fuck, I hope no one saw that.
Sure.
As a giant beacon of light goes "Blah," from the sky down on top of the thing. Yeah. So what you see as the salamander begins its turn is this pulse of light. The salamander's fire, this sort of very almost solar sun-like fire, pulses in response before just being erased by the moonbeam. You watch as this ghostly blue glow starts infecting its flames, and as the red flame sort of turns to this light blue color, they die down until there's just nothing but this central core, this sphere of burning blue that then just disapparates and disappears as the salamander is evaporated. It was the salamander's go, but you've evaporated my monster, which brings us to Mira,
Yes.
I believe.
Okay.
Yes.
Yes. Yeah.
How dare you?
So it's just this one dude.
It's just this one dude who is currently wrapped up in a web,
This one dude.
prone, and his head is encased in water. No, it's not. His head's not encased in water. He is splashing around wet.
In a web.
Oh, really? Well,
Uh-oh.
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 I don't mean to give you any ideas.
I mean, no, I can't freeze the water if there's a creature in it that's fake water.
Oh, lame.
I know. And I've already said that I can't, move the water into his lungs because that's a bit dark.
Yo.
We've discussed that the spell does not allow you to fill a creature's lungs with water. We have established that.
Man.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, for a cantrip, it's like...
Okay.
Yeah, I'm going to rule that a cantrip. That's not happening.
Yeah,
That's a
I like
concept.
that.
It's a cantrip. Yeah, it's a cantrip. Can't
Oh
rip.
my
Oh, you're taking 3 psychic
yeah,
damage.
no blood bending either. We've talked about this. Yes, I'm taking 3 psychic damage.
At least you took some damage this
okay.
round.
Oh, that's a burn, except it's not.
7.
because it's Mira doesn't burn. Can I just cast Shape Water just to stop him crying out anymore? Just to fill his mouth with water? And
Yep.
I mean, I know that sounds like I'm doing the same thing, but that's specifically for a non-lethal purpose.
Yeah. The water just rises up around his head again and wraps him in this sphere as he begins struggling against the sphere of water.
Yep, exactly. And I just reach out with one finger and go, mm-mm.
Oh, Jesus. For podcast listeners, Claire shook her finger and wagged it back and forwards in a very, very intimidating manner.
Yeah.
She's a very intimidating woman, is Claire. So the finger wag on top of that, scary. Very scary.
Mm-hmm. Librarian vibes. I do want librarian vibes.
As you go, shh. As you shush him. Amazing.
Quiet now.
I'm like, yeah, hush now. No more screams, only dreams. Yep, that's going to haunt my nightmares. Anything else on your turn, Mira, or have you scarred us enough?
Look, I think I'm in a safe space. Can I just, that's an action. Can I bonus action just check and see if there's anyone around who heard him?
I'll allow you to quickly sort of turn around and give a quick perception check as you hush the only source of noise and see what you can hear. Absolutely.
Mm-hmm. That's 16.
You do hear voices calling out, I heard something at the temple. What's going on? No sounds of running feet just yet, more confusion, because basically the Yuan-Ti only got a few seconds of screaming before you then basically pulled the water back up, because that all happened in the same turn. So not a huge amount of time to start screaming out and calling for help. At least from outside the temple.
Okay, I'm done.
Uh-oh.
Lockie, as you're standing right next to the borders of this moonbeam, that's just evaporated the salamander, and then in the middle of your web is this tied up Yuan-Ti with his head encased in water.
Okay. He's also still in my web.
He is in your web, yeah.
So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to skirt around the moonbeam.
Yep.
I'm going to stand up here, and then off the back of his shoulder blade is going to come his mace. And then Grim Flame Bread, boom, right on top of him.
You have advantage, and I'm assuming you green flame blade the web to set it on fire. That seems to be the vibe.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah, okay. So you have advantage because he is prone and restrained. Would you like to roll me your attack roll first, and then we will deal with the web situation. 21's going to hit.
So we'll go.
This is brutal.
Mace
You guys
damage.
are really... Yep, 4 damage.
Grim Flame Bread damage. And then on
So
top of
4.
that-
So is that 4 fire damage on the first, and then 10 to set the web on fire? Is that how I'm reading that correctly? Because it does. That's the first target, and then.
No. I haven't done web damage. Just 2d4 next.
Oh no, sorry. As in like in the way that it's rolled it, so that there's the left and right most beacons. The left one is the damage he takes. The
I think
rightmost is the one to the
Yeah.
second target. Correct.
Yeah.
Yes, that'll be the one that's the second
Yeah.
time. Yeah.
So he takes
So-
the 4 damage, and then the 10 sets the web on fire. That 10 fire damage sets the web on fire, and he takes 4 more fire damage from the web being set on fire. Wow.
Yeah.
He's not having a great time. The web doesn't burn as efficiently as you'd hope because it has been doused in water and ice crystals, but it does catch fire, and he does begin burning up. As he takes this, any creature that starts its turn in the fire, the web burns away in 1 round. So by the time we get back to your turn, the web will be gone. Yeah. Anything else on your turn, Lockie? As you just basically step up.
I'll go once with a mace, and then as a bonus action.
Yep.
Could I just sort of like hold him steady? Make sure he doesn't get out of the web or out of the fire.
Or that's more of a grapple. So
That sounds like an action.
it is.
Yeah, no, maybe not. Yeah, it is. I might just leave that then.
Yeah.
I'll go
He's
for
done it. Eager in front of Brett. So in summary, what Lockie did was Lockie was standing next to a moonbeam. He very gently walks around the edge of the moonbeam, comes up the stairs, like, sort of casually walks over, pulls out his mace, cracks this dude in the face, and then sets fire to the web, burning him and the web. Just for those of you who are following along at home, Lockie's a bit of a psychopath. Yervith.
I have a job.
Although I have to say, in comparison to Lyra, I'm not so sure. Like,
Yeah, this is like you're just trying to put him out of his misery. You're not
Yeah.
eating him, right?
He
Yervith.
was dead when I ate him.
Yeah, true. True. True.
Well, this one will be soon too, so you
yeah.
can munch on him too.
The Yervith is
It is Yervith.
kind of like, yeah, Yervith can't really get a great shot at this prone 1T who's like just lying on the ground. So he's going to bonus action the Hunter's Mark onto our prone friend. So he'll just transfer it across.
Yep.
And then he'll kind of casually glide up with his 35 feet of movement next to Lockie. And he's going to pull out one of his short swords and just go stab.
Oh. You have advantage for this attack.
I do. And I get sneak attack. for it.
You do. I think this is going to be it.
So
20's
that's,
going to hit.
20.
See if you get the crit. If you do, it's going to be good. 8 damage.
and
Just
then-
chuck another d20 just in case you get the crit. Because if you do,
Oh, yeah.
all of this is going to be
That'd be cool.
doubled. This is just going to be... No, that's fine. 13. So 8 and
So
6.
it's still 14 damage. Yeah. But I do attack again. I'll just
Yes, you do.
attack again.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Don't
Oh my
roll
God.
to hit. Roll to hit. Don't bother rolling damage. Just roll to hit. 17's going to hit. Would you like to roll me again just in
17.
case you get the crit? Just in
Yeah,
case.
sure.
Don't worry about damage. You've
Oh, close.
26.
Close.
So close.
Oh,
Close.
He has
roll a 19.
he has 3 hit points left. Your short sword does a d6 plus 4.
yeah.
Doesn't matter what you roll, you kill
Yeah.
him. How do you want to
Yeah.
do this?
Nice. I kind of want to like kneel down a little bit with the, like I've just kind of like stabbed with the first stab, and then I'm just gonna like kneel down and just kind of like bring the sword across, like as he's like trying to like shout and like, raise
Yeah.
the alarm and just like bring the knife
Yeah.
quickly and easily right across the like.
Goodbye there.
That's it.
Head's still encased in this water. As you draw your sword across, the blood is sort of pulled into this shape water that is currently active, and the sphere slowly begins to swirl with red blood
becomes
until
red.
it just becomes red as his lifeblood is drained out by this shape water, because it is
Yeah.
pulling water into a sphere, and to
Yeah.
maintain that, as you draw it across his neck, because it is in the water, you just reach in with the sword, and then you watch as
That
the
is-
blood
that is-
drains.
That is so metal.
Bill's red.
Yeah, so grim.
Yeah.
But yeah, Yervith is like, yeah.
Yeah, to
it's
come.
another Sunday.
Yeah. You are now out of initiative, all of you. I'm assuming at this point the web just burns up and is gone by the end of that turn. You are out of initiative. Who has a passive perception of above? I know for a fact one of you has a passive perception of above 15. I think that's Lyra, isn't it?
Yeah, I do.
17.
Nope.
19.
You can now hear the sounds
10.
of 10. Mira, all is well. Nothing to worry about at all. No one heard that. You're sweet. Everyone else whose passive perception is decent, you can hear the sound of footsteps sort of now coming towards the source. Be like, I think I heard something. Yes, there's something coming from up that way. Quick. And you hear some Yuan
Are there
get
also
back.
footsteps coming from the Ziggurat?
Oh,
You-
Jared, we can't hear you. We're talking, I can't hear you.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, we can see mouth moving.
All right. Yep. My bad.
Yeah, he's back.
But I have an idea.
Yeah.
So Jin's gonna rush forward, tell everyone to clean up as quick, clean this up as quick as you can. Get it, move everything, gone, corpses, everything, hurry. And he's going to cast off his. He's going to use shape change to turn into a Yuan T,
Yep.
trying to model it as much as he can on one of these guys.
Yeah.
one of the guards.
Minus the
as quick
slit
as he
throat,
can.
I
He's going to quickly
imagine.
look at the body, change.
Yep.
Minus the slit throat. He's going to change his form as quick as he can. He's going to steal one of their weapons off the ground.
These long scimitars. They've got curved
He's going to
swords.
cast off his... He's going to... Do they have any clothing on them?
Yeah. So they're wearing these loincloths and these metal bangles around their wrists and neck.
Right. I'm going to cast Disguise Self and emulate that clothing, so I look exactly like these guards. And I'm going to tell everyone, as quick as you can, go up there. As quick as you can. Like, I'll point up here, like, to hide. Take all the corpses, take everything in.
Yeah. While he does that, I'm going to hook both the corpses and start dragging them.
Nice.
Yep.
Lyra's cleaning up as Lockie drags them, like 101 Dalmatians style.
I can see you've
Yeah.
said water plus
Yeah.
shape water to clean blood. I'm assuming that means you're just using the decanter of endless water to create water to clean the blood? Yeah.
Yeah, she's essentially like gurney gunning the blood away.
Um,
I'm going
And then
to
she'll follow
also...
Lockie.
yeah.
Also, I'm going to do quickly shapeshift again. I'm going to do, like... I don't know how I can do this, but maybe use something quickly before anyone gets here to make it look like I have like a head wound sort of bleeding a little bit. Just like a little... It looks like I almost have been struck by something.
Cool.
I mean,
Alright, I think inside the temple, perhaps.
Yeah.
Yeah, hide wherever you can. That's like not going to arouse suspicion.
Yeah. Pull them inside the temple, I think. Because we need to go in there anyway.
Yeah, good idea.
I love it.
Good
Yeah,
luck,
as you guys run, the narrow corridor in this stone passageway leads to a large set of double doors, the wood still coated in gold, depicting various scenes of draconic and serpentine figures, and as well as some sort of humanoid figures as well. But in your rush, you don't really have time to look at these, and you push yourselves through the door into the room beyond, dragging these two bodies as well. Jin, you stay out the back. As you guys sort of step into this room, Yervith, Mira, Lyra, and Lockie dragging these corpses, you see a long, narrow corridor, and at the end, another golden door, inlaid again with these beautiful designs. Jin, disguised as a UNT standing at the front, this sort of cut on your head, a little bit of blood from the ground, quickly mucked up around your head, sort of from one of the bodies. You could get a bit of blood on your fingers and just sort of jotted on this area. A number of the cultists and UNT sort of emerge. One of the UNT turns to you, and in this very hissing language, of interest, what languages do you speak?
Draconic and Elvish.
It speaks to you in this hissing language that you do not recognize.
Ooh.
That's
As you
fine.
hear,
I'm just gonna panic as quick as I can in common, because it's the only thing I can think of. To everybody, just taking them all in a hissing voice that would emulate all the UNT I've heard in the camp.
Yep.
I'm going to say, I can't be bothered doing the voice. But what I'm going to say is accented that way.
What was that? Sorry. Can't be bothered
What?
doing the voice. You watch
It's
as
just going to hurt my throat.
you watch as emerging in front
Oh,
of
you
you.
bastard.
Tiamat. No.
Whoa!
Sure, you still don't
I'm
want to
gonna
do the
do
voice?
No.
I'm kidding.
I'm gonna
that's
just
absolutely
like,
fine.
say
I'm just
in common, and I'm gonna yell it. Lizard folk came from the jungle and attacked us. We drove them off, but the other guard has run off to follow them. Everyone to the forest. We need to get them.
Make me a persuasion check.
Oh man.
Okay, that's fine.
Oh, a little bit of metagaming going on in the chat. I can
27.
see here. 27. I'm going to use my advantage.
What's that mean?
Dude.
I
Does that mean
I was
I-
rolling. I was
what does
rolling
that
to
mean?
see if they were fooled, and then
right.
I'm
Yeah.
so their insight check. I'm re-rolling the insight check because I wasn't happy with it. It was close, but I was like, I can do better. I couldn't do better. The UNT
27 is
this-
pretty good. I don't think I'd even re-roll that.
it was worth a go just because there's something else that I'm playing into here. So because your particular lie is not
Right.
there are some things that aren't possible. I've lowered your DC slightly and raised their plus because there's some things you've said which don't quite make sense to them. So it's a little bit easier for them, but it doesn't matter. I still failed.
Okay.
The Yuan-Ti female in common, the woman says, "Very well. Stand guard. You cultists, get back." She sort of directs them away. "Stand guard. None shall enter. I shall fetch reinforcements for the guard. Come, my brethren, we shall hunt down these lizard folk." And with that, the cultists are directed back towards the town away from the temple. The orders are no one is to enter. And some of the Yuan-Ti move off towards the forest as the Yuan-Ti female begins heading south around the temple, seemingly to go and fetch some more guards. And with that,
Lucky.
we shall end for tonight. I think we shall pick up next session. Although quickly, Jin, are you going to stand? Are you going to stand guard, or are you going to head inside, join the others?
Well,
just out of interest.
Whilst in my yes, that's what I was going to say. Just while it's fresh in my mind, while they all dart off, and everyone. So outside, am I the only one outside right now?
At this point, you are alone outside.
Because look, I'm going to have to go inside. I'm going to go back in here, say to the crew, bring out the bodies, and we'll
stand.
So
them
just
up.
bring one outside with me. So I'll go back out here, Owen. I'm going to bring one of the bodies out, and I'm going to prop it down here, and I'm going to make it. This is the one I copied. I'm going to leave it as it's dead, and I'm going to do. I'm going to turn to like Yervith because he's really good with this stuff. I'm going to ask Yervith to create tracks that look like a lizardman came to attack this thing and then ran back into the jungle, indicating that we didn't come into the temple at all.
Okay.
Sure.
Yervith.
I'll give it my best.
Yervith, that's going to be.
This sounds more like your thing.
I'm going to say that you can use sleight of hand or
will
survival to create false tracks.
And I will give him I will give him the help action.
Help action, yeah.
I'll give him the help action. I won't give him
Go
bardic.
survival or sleight of hand, your choice. With advantage.
I'll do survival.
20.
Oh, 20's
Plus
good.
9. I can see why you chose
Can you get
survival.
higher?
13. I'll take the 20. You generate a set of false tracks. You don't have to go very far, just a couple of set of false tracks. These clawed digigrade feet. Probably using your bow and your hands to sort of create these false tracks and then scattering some dust on them to erase your evidence. And it does look like there are some clawed feet that approach this dead body and then moved back away.
Yeah, stealthily move away back into the temple.
And then I guess what we'll do is, we'll do like the broom or leaf thing and just completely just make our tracks disappear.
Well, you don't have to because a lot of the water that's around here has flowed over. So basically, Lyra described standing. I'll bring you guys back out so I can show you why you don't have to worry too much about tracks. Is because when you were here, Lyra described using the decanter of endless water here to wash the blood down the stairs onto the mud. So your footsteps are gone for the most part around here. It's just mud.
Perfect.
They've all been washed away. So actually, I'd already taken that into account. I was like, oh, okay, that's an unintended fun side effect of your decision making.
And I'm only doing one guard. I'm not doing both because there was only me when I was outside. It would not make no sense if two were out there dead.
No, exactly right. Perfect. Well, that is where we will wrap up for tonight. And we will come back next time to explore the Golden Ziggurat. Thank you so much for joining us, everybody. Thanks so much for everyone who has been spending their channel points. Teller and Shane. Teller for giving me advantage. Shane for spawning that fantastic salamander.
That was so cool!
That was really cool.
I love the channel points being used for that. That's exactly what they're for. So, stay safe, everybody. Stay well. We will see you all again next time. And stay tuned. We will be posting some updates on the Avatar The Last Airbender campaign that we'll be playing very, very soon. Very excited for that. And I'm looking forward to announcing our full cast shortly as well. So until then, stay safe, stay well. We will see you guys next time.
See you next week, everyone.
Thanks, guys.
Goodbye, everybody. Farewell.